And hey, do us a favor. Spread the word. Another award-winning, thought-provoking, action-packed edition of the Tony Basilio Show is coming up next. Tips are always appreciated here at TonyBasilio.com, home of the Tony Basilio Show.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340. WKGN Knoxville and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run Radio.
Oh, man, it's incredible for us. It's incredible. I was just talking to my man. You got to bow your head when you say thy name. Alan over at WeShipFloors.com. Alan over at what happened to me? What's going on here with my channel? I'm having trouble with my channel over here. Alan at WeShipFloors.com. Shout out to you, Muddy. You fired me up, folks, and prepared me today. We're going to open our TLD Logistics phone lines here momentarily. You're on the one, the only. We're going to do a playoff look ahead today in hour 3, which is something we've been wanting to do. And C's going to join us for that. And we've got a lot to talk about. We're going to drill down. We're going to be drilling down on the SEC weekend. And Brian Hartman, the college football weekend got started in earnest last night, did it not, Brian? Were you excited to watch that game?
Yeah, the MTSU Blue Raiders put on a show in front of literally a packed house in Johnny Red Floyd Stadium in Murfreesboro last night.
Yep.
And it was a good game. Came down to a kick at the end. Their kicker missed it, and Missouri State escapes with a narrow 2-point victory.
And I've come to the conclusion that this is really a lot of fun. This has been fun. It's going to be fun. Today I've got a crazy sports day in my world. The Sillies, the Flyers, and the Eagles are all in action. Back to back to back. Matt Dixon, I got my game face on right now. How about you?
Yeah, absolutely. Coming off a bye week, got an intriguing game against an opponent that Tennessee's had a lot of trouble beating recently,
and it doesn't make any sense either, because nobody else has trouble. Nobody else has trouble with them.
Yeah, especially recently. And I was doing some stuff last night, and this is kind of crazy, but since they joined the league, Arkansas has 5 wins versus Tennessee when they were the underdog.
Oh my gosh!
And only Florida, who has 6, has more. And interestingly, South Carolina, who also joined the league in '92, also has 5 upset wins over Tennessee in that time.
I mean, what gives with that? And some of the Arkansas games, like, hey guys, last year's Arkansas game made 0. It made 0 sense. Okay, right, Matt? That game made no sense.
Yeah, totally. No, yeah. So one of the shocking results especially at the time, coming off that bye week, to be that inept.
Do you guys choose to believe the reporting around Bill Belichick? Yes or no? Matt, do you believe that he was unreachable during the bye week with his staff, and that staff members are looking to get out of there like rats jumping off a ship? Yes or no?
Yes. Yeah, because it was very evident that was kind of a train wreck from the start, and then all the off-season stuff, and then they're just a bad team. They've made bad, portal decisions. They're not well coached at all.
Yes.
It's pretty obvious that that's not going to be a multi-year deal, that he's going to be done there after 1 year. So yeah, I believe all that.
And will the real Bill Belichick please stand up? Hey, see, which one's the real Bill Belichick? The one that went 249 and 75, a 76.9 winning percentage, 6 Super Bowl titles with Tom Brady? Or the Bill Belichick who's been a rather lackluster 84 and 104, including his brief stint at North Carolina, where if he sticks around till the end of the season, he's only going to add to those negative numbers. As see, we bring you in here. Which one's the real Bill Belichick? Say.
I think it's obvious without Brady, he's not. He's not. I mean, he's just kind of a run-of-the-mill coach. Obviously, most of those guys in the NFL are right around 500, but when he doesn't have, a generational quarterback, he isn't anything special. And I don't think Gio Lopez is anywhere near Tom Brady, so I don't think those numbers are going to be improving.
Do you guys think he stays till the end of the year? You think he stays till the end of the year, see, or does he just bow out? What can we expect here?
Well, I mean, they put out those statements yesterday, but I don't think he'll make it to the end of the year. I think maybe another week or two.
Yep. I think the university president's head's going to roll because he's embarrassed at university before it's over. Bubba Cunningham's kind of caught in the middle of that deal. That was a big old power play way above his head. And Bill Belichick jumped into college football for pure vanity. That's all it was. He had zero business, Matt, doing that. Zero.
He'll always have that first drive, though, against TCU, where they went right down the field and scored.
Hey, when Michael Jordan was in the house, and then he turned into a crying Jordan meme later in the half. But he will always have that, Bri, just like I will always love you.
Making the jump to the college game is always kind of difficult for an NFL lifer and a long time and an old guy in this new era. Like I didn't think it was ever going to work, but I am surprised that it's been such a disaster that it literally is one of the worst hires a Power 4 program's ever made.
Think about that, say.
When you add all the money that they invested, that they went and bought a bunch of G5 players that are average, that Lombardi guy, like all the offseason stuff, like one of the worst hires ever. And it makes what Deion Sanders has done, kind of impressive.
How about that, say? In what world would we have ever thought that Deion Sanders would outcoach Bill Belichick?
I think the difference is their staffs. Deion hired a lot of proven college or several proven college coaches, and Belichick seemed to be just kind of throwing darts, and it was extremely the staff that Belichick hired was a lot of guys who were kind of over the hill in the NFL and guys who'd been. It wasn't like he was going into NFL staffs and hiring the best of coaches off current NFL teams. It was guys that are retired or guys that have been run out of there. Lombardi obviously had been working for Bill Simmons. It's not like he had been, some active GM. Al Davis called the shot on Lombardi 17 years ago about how bad of a personnel guy he was. And Bill Belichick brought him in. The other thing he did is he gave all these guys, all of his friends and all of his NFL buddies, kids jobs. He gave just a lot of friends and family jobs, which Deion, to his credit, did not do.
He made his son like coach in waiting. So, a buddy of mine asked me last night, Byron Williams, what happens to his son coach in waiting? I said he's going to have a long wait.
To be fair, his son was probably one of the more qualified of these nepotism hires he made. His son was the defensive coordinator last year at Washington, so that was one of the only hires that did make some sense. Obviously, that was only because he was his son, but he would have given him that job even if he had been an NFL, personnel guy, that he gave a lot of jobs to kids of prominent NFL people as well, which
That's
is
fun.
which is what has really pissed a lot of North Carolina people off.
Like he's coaching like he's coaching a local high school team,
And he was so petty on some things about, especially, you can't tweet you can't celebrate the success of Drake May, who's a prominent alum in the league right now, because you have a beef with the Patriots. You can't let their scouts in to see your teams play. Well, Bill, you don't have any players the scouts would want to see anyway, do you?
Amen, Brian. I was saying today in the blog, I mean, how many, usually when something like this is going on, these universities are over there picking at these schools like carcasses. I don't know what coaches you'd want. I don't know what players you'd want off that roster. And I'm being serious here. We come back. I just got word that Mark in Columbus is on hold from Brian Hartman. And so Mark in Columbus will lead off this set of 3 love songs. Adam Sparks coming up a little later on in the hour of your News Sentinel. We'll set it up for the weekend. Go inside the McCoy stuff, etc. Also, in our third hour, we're going to do a playoff summit. Now, by our count, there are 26 teams alive for the playoffs. We're going to tier the teams. Who's tier 1? Who's tier 2? Who's tier 3? That will give us all kind of a viewer's guide. And there are 26 teams alive entering this weekend, which is a pretty healthy number for 11 spots. And when you chew up those spots with the Power 4 leagues, all of a sudden you're down to 7. If you add Notre Dame to that, all of a sudden you're down to 6. And then it gets down to what we call nut cutting time. As we continue with more on the other side. And I want to direct you over to tclub.team today, where our WeShipFloors.com Tennessee Hardwood Report can be found. Because I'm going to tell you something. It's pretty damn next level, if I can say so myself, as we continue with more after this.
Are you searching for a great local coffee? I'm Billy with Grade A Grounds. You can buy our freshly roasted coffee online and support a good cause with every sip. Great coffee, greater causes. Visit our website today, gradeagrounds.com.
You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land? Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contracting. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting. Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gouffon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gouffon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years. 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gufon Moving and Storage are pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gufon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Gufon.com. That's Gufon.com, or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Gufon Moving and Storage. Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776. Or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Fall has officially arrived, so now is the perfect time to make sure your home's heating and HVAC system is ready for the season ahead. Don't ignore the warning signs that your heating or cooling system is struggling or nearing the end of its lifespan. And if you need fast, reliable HVAC repairs, seasonal preventative maintenance, or want to invest in a new, high-efficiency system, then call the trusted HVAC experts at Pipe Wrench Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Whatever HVAC problems you encounter, our certified technicians will make a full assessment and then provide the best long-term solution to keep your home comfortable again all year long. We make it easy with free on-site estimates for replacements and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans including 0% financing with credit approval. Be sure to ask about our 10-plus year warranties that are 2 times longer than industry standards so you don't spend a cent on unexpected costs in the future. So call Pipe Wrench at 865-264-8090 or book online at pipewrench.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
Man, we're like 9 days away from our visit down to Alabama. That fires me up, focuses me, and prepares me. I mean, one of the great signature games in college football, the Phillies last night in those Blues on the road with the Dodgers. Such a beautiful sight. I love beautiful sights in sports. Speaking of beautiful things, Matt, we really need to be peacemakers. And you had a great idea, and we'll bring Columbo in here now and see if he's amiable to this. Go ahead, Matt. Matt was thinking about something here in our pre-production.
Well, it's just a throwaway line, but we need to see if Lane Kiffin can get involved and create some kind of truce between Market Columbus and Hugh Freeze. Maybe they could have lunch sometime at Calhoun's.
That would be a great thing. When is Auburn scheduled to play here? Is it next season? Is it here or there next year,
Hugh
guys?
Freeze won't be the coach when they play here.
Oh. Well, maybe we can just do it out of season then.
Yeah, at a golf outing, I guess.
Golf
probably
outing.
be best.
Or we could have him down like in the spring for one of our baseball deals and bring Mark down. But let's bring Colombo in without further ado. Colombo, would you be on the TLD Logistics hotline? Would you be open to sitting down and calling a truce with Freeze? Maybe he unblocks you on Twitter. And away we go.
And Lane Kiffin has less use for Hugh Freeze than I do.
No, Lane Kiffin wants to. I think he would bridge the gap, though. I could text him later.
Lane Kiffin doesn't like Hugh Freeze. Period.
Maybe we'll text him later. Bridge the gap.
Doesn't like Hugh Freeze.
Would Lane Kiffin want Hugh Freeze's job at the end of the year?
Well, he could have had it last time, and he didn't take it. So that's why they hired Hugh Freeze. And Hugh Freeze put it out in the media that Lane basically put all this pressure on Lane to either take it or not take it so Hugh could get it. That's why Lane doesn't like Hugh Freeze.
Interesting. See,
and Lane knows that Hugh Freeze is a complete phony and a fraud. And Lane's got no use for him. Lane could have had the Auburn job, and he turned it down.
See, do you think Columbus, at the end of the day, has a fair and balanced view of Hugh Freeze?
I've got a truthful view of him.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I'm for Mark.
How about that? You've got a fan, Colombo.
I'm going to tell you right now, if Tennessee had hired that guy, I would have rooted for Tennessee to lose every game until he was fired. Period. I'll leave it at that. And Tony Belichick's not going to make it to the Cal game on October 18th. He's not going to make it to then.
Tell me about Belichick through your eyes. What you think?
They're gonna negotiate the buyout down and get it, and he's gonna get out of there. They're already trying to prove him with the violations they're leaking out.
They sure are.
I mean, he's gonna take a negotiated settlement and get out of there. And so, did you know how many young up and coming coaches and coordinators they could have hired there, and they went this route?
It's like embarrassing, right?
Like, the only people would want that job. It's a really good job. Like, you got a lot of money. I mean, I don't know. What I'm calling, I want to clarify what I said yesterday about the playoff and whatnot.
All right.
I don't think Tennessee is trying to win the national championship this year. I said that yesterday. And, that's fine because I only think, three or four schools really are. The rest are just kind of playing for bids. But Tennessee, if Faison Brandon is the real deal, absolutely we should demand that they are all in on his sophomore and junior years. Go overpay for guys and put a national championship roster around that kid and go win a title. Michigan isn't even playing for a title this year. They're not going to throw a bunch of money for a roster around Bryce Underwood as a freshman. But you better believe next year and the year after they're going to be all in with that kid. You got to pick your shots. There's only a very small handful of schools that are going all in every year. And wow, if we weren't, paying to be elite in baseball and basketball, could we be one of those schools? Maybe. But you got to load up when the time's right. And
hey, Matt,
that's why that's why in the years you're not loading up for a national championship run, you've got to keep it up to a level that, like I've always said, make the playoffs, stay relevant.
Matt, you agree? You agree with what he's saying, that there are certain teams out there, and we're going to see this going forward, that are going to load up and try to win it all? Texas went all in this offseason. They tried to win it all.
Well, they're going to go all in every year. They got more money than God.
Well, they got next year, too. Penn State was all in this year.
Penn State was all in.
Auburn was all in, but he didn't have a quarterback.
Last year.
Auburn was all in and didn't get a quarterback. That's a good point.
And didn't get a quarterback. But
who else, Mark? Who else? So we got Penn State went all in.
Miami's absolutely all in. He's been loading up that thing for 3 years. Oregon's always going to be all in because they got all the money in the world. And A&M is going to be – now, nobody does less with more than the Texas schools, but they've got more money than God. They're going to be all in every year. And this year, They went out and got Concepcion. We didn't. They went and got
he'd have been
kid.
so nice.
We didn't. And those kids have transformed that offense.
They're unreal. Hey,
I think they're the only SEC team really left that's going to make the playoff, because Texas is kind of falling apart. That can maybe do some damage. But Kirby knows he doesn't have the dudes this year.
Hey, see, who else is all in the sport right now when he talks about the all-in teams? Anybody else come to mind?
No, I mean, a lot of there's some schools that I don't think thought that this was their year. Like Notre Dame's a team that goes all in sometimes, but they obviously have a freshman quarterback.
Yep.
They're not. They'll probably be all in the next couple of years, like they were last year. No, I think he covered most of them.
How about Texas Tech, guys? They all in?
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
What about in Indiana?
I just don't know what their ceiling is. And Indiana as well. They can go all in.
Very similar. Indiana's never. They're going to get kind of exposed this weekend. Like they're going to get a little exposed. But
Penn State fans are hoping that James Franklin goes to Auburn after this year or Florida. That's their hope.
Yeah, I mean they were all in, and it's blowing up in their face, and like Texas as well. But they're going to be, like I said, they're going to be all in. Everybody, Tennessee, we're not all in this year. Now maybe we would have been
if Nico would have stayed.
If the kid had panned out, and we had faith in him, and
yeah,
if
he could have played, if they would have thought that he could have played, they might have gone out and gotten that Concepcion guy. You're right.
I mean, I don't know what the whole backstory is there. Did they say, well, we just got to kind of manage this and we'll ride with what we got next year because Nico can't take us to the promised land? I don't know.
I don't know, man.
But they got this idea that they were going to load up a roster around Joey Aguilar. Like, come on. It was never going to happen.
But you know what?
Next year with a freshman quarterback, you're not going to really do it then either. But with Faison Brandon, if he's the real deal, you'll have David Sanders as a junior prepared to be a top 5 pick in the draft. You'll have the Tristan Keys kid as a sophomore, 27, 28. The pressure needs to be put on.
Put on
who knows what it looks like with the rev share, but you got to go out and get a real national championship roster, not just make a playoff roster, a real national championship level roster, and take advantage. Strike it when you can.
Matt Dixon, you predicted this. Eventually, making the playoffs is not going to be enough for people, right? In this era, right?
Correct, but Mark's right. When you get a Faison Brandon, just like when you got Nico, you don't get those guys to just make the playoffs. You get those guys to win playoff games and compete for championships, and that's very true. I agree with all that. Absolutely.
And I think we can win a playoff game depending on a draw. I think we could beat Indiana. I think we could beat Memphis or whoever comes out of the group of 5. But we're not beating the top of the sport this year. We're not.
You don't know that. I mean, Tennessee's what?
Tony, we know that. We saw it last year.
No, stop. You don't know. No, you don't know that. No. Actually, you don't.
We got
That's
assassinated.
one game,
and
man.
the defense is far worse this year.
That's one
we got
game.
Assassinated.
You don't know
okay?
that. No, you don't know from
yes,
week to week.
I know that,
no,
Tony.
No, you declared UCLA dead last week. You declared Nico a bust. You don't know that. You don't know that.
So you declared Nico a bust in May.
Tony, came on here last week and said the guy's career is dead. You don't know that.
We're not.
You don't know that.
We're not.
It's college
yes,
football.
Yes, we know that, Tony. They spent more money on their roster than we did. We know that.
No, it's college football. No. Well, listen. You and this money thing. If money meant so much, why is Penn State and Texas already eliminated? You and this money. It's not a federal government program, Chief. Or maybe
That's what runs the sport,
Just
Tony.
because you throw money at something doesn't mean you're going to win.
Well, of course it doesn't.
Look at that.
I'll take the more expensive roster over the less expensive roster 10 times out of 10.
What happened last year with that unbeatable Ohio State team when they lost that Michigan game, Mark?
They went and assassinated every team that played in the national playoff.
Come on now, Mark.
That's all that really matters.
Come on, Mark. No, it wasn't all that matters. Their fans up there were so mad they still wanted the guy fired. Mark, don't tell me that's all that matters.
No, you want to know what happened against
Mark.
Michigan?
Don't do
I'll
that,
tell you
Mark.
exactly what happened against Michigan. I'll tell you exactly what happened against Michigan. Will Howard got concussed. They went into a shell, and they couldn't pull it out. And they had no backup quarterback to play. That's what happened. His brains were scrambled, and he played anyway, and they couldn't drop back to throw, or he might have been in a coma by the end of the game.
AC.
That's what happened.
If money
and then
is,
they went out and decapitated every team they played in the playoffs.
AC, who played for the national championship last year?
Ohio State, Notre Dame.
Okay. So what happened to Oregon last year? If money's the answer, what happened to Oregon last year? Who spends more than anybody?
Ohio State was up 35-0.
They ran into that Ohio State
That's
team
what happened.
too.
All right. What happened to Texas?
Ohio State was up 35-0 in the second quarter. What happened
to Texas last year? Who spends more money than anybody?
They lost on a goal line play to Ohio State.
Yeah, same thing that happened to them this year against they awful red zone play calling against Ohio State in the semis.
So I don't understand.
So keep going with your teams. Like
I don't understand your. Okay, you can say that teams sit down behind a closed door and say, okay, in 27 we're going to point to that, because next year with that difficult
we
schedule,
should be. I hope we are. We better be. Or what are we even doing here?
Well, you sound
this
like
kid's the real deal.
You sound like negative.
I don't want to waste resources on a team quarterback by Joey Aguilar. I want to be good. I don't need to be. I don't have a national championship roster around that kid.
Excuse
me. But I want to have full-on resources.
Joey Aguilar
is the real deal.
Joey Aguilar, if he coached Texas right now, would they be undefeated?
I don't know.
I do know.
I mean,
the Joey Aguilar we're seeing right now, they'd be undefeated.
That's not Heupel's offense.
What does that even mean?
Could they have gotten him ready to play? Heupel's done a great job getting the kid ready to play.
Surely,
they're also 4-1, exactly where we thought they'd be.
Surely they would modify their offense at Texas for him, right, Matt?
You think Joey Aguilar was handling a Matt Patricia defense?
Oh, you and this Matt Patricia guy. Patricia guy need to get a room, man. I mean, what are we doing?
He wasn't.
This Matt Patricia guy was a complete loser. A complete loser in the NFL.
They've allowed 2
complete
touchdowns
loser with the Lions.
Games. I mean, I can't. I'm not
another
making
guy
up
that was
stats
made
here.
by Tom Brady. Another guy.
They went across the country.
Mark, you were
a pretty good Washington team on their home
field.
You
were all over this Jim Knowles. You were all over this Jim Knowles guy last year.
No,
Tell me how great he was. Yes, you were. And then he got absolutely steamrolled by Nico. I mean, come on, man.
Ohio State's given up 2 touchdowns in 5 games. 2. 1-2.
They're not playing anybody. What do you mean they're giving up
Tony,
2 touchdowns?
Who have we played other than Georgia? Who have we played?
Well, Georgia.
We played Syracuse.
Let's start there. Let's start with Georgia.
They went on the road. Tony, they went across the country and played a 4-1 Washington team, and Washington didn't even sniff the end zone. What do you want?
Matt, why does this guy...
Washington is just as good as Auburn.
Why does this guy who you defend, Matt, hate Joey Aguilar so much?
I don't hate Joey Aguilar.
You hate
I think
him.
He's been good this year. I don't hate him.
You just
I'm not
said
putting a bunch of resources to load up a roster.
That's totally
to surround him.
That's totally.
I'm doing it for Faison Brandon.
That's totally. You haven't even seen Faison Brandon. Who even knows who that is? We're doing this again, man.
The number 1 quarterback in the country.
Yeah, just like Nico was.
Roster better be loaded up.
Just like Nico was.
If he can play.
Well, that's a big if. I don't understand the fascination with shiny objects in college football.
Because that's what wins.
Guys,
would you pay $10 million to have Jeremiah Smith on this roster? I would.
Panel. Panel. Please deal with him, panel.
The best players win, Tony.
Panel.
I'm just.
They can't say
I'm just
Tony,
listening
to
you guys go back and forth.
Panel. I need some help, panel.
I'm still trying to figure out what you're both arguing against.
Right. What are you arguing against?
There's both points. There's correct arguments for both sides. I don't know what. Like, yeah, you've got to load up on your roster when you have these kind of peak year deals or these windows. And Tennessee, Mark's right. Tennessee's at that very good. You're not at that. You can just reload every year deal like a Georgia and Ohio State are. You're just a notch below that. So you have to take advantage when you have those opportunities with the quarterbacks that you hope Brandon kind of is. Well, Michigan's another kind of example, just like Tennessee. They've got Bryce Underwood. If they don't load up on some key receivers like in the portal next year, like what are they really doing?
They got all the money in the world, but they're not going to spend it this year when he's a freshman. They'll be good with going 10-2, making the playoffs. They know that 26 and 27 are their years.
Hey guys,
just like we should know 27 and 28 are our years.
I'm going to add another team to the all-in pile. What about Oklahoma this year? going out and getting the offensive coordinator and the and the quarterback.
Well, they had to.
LSU
He had
was all
to
in,
save his
too.
job.
Oklahoma's
They had
all
to
in.
save his job.
Yeah, Oklahoma's all in. Yes or no?
Yeah, but he had to save his job.
Yeah, it's a job saving deal there.
Mm-hmm. Just like Hugh Freeze.
Some could say Missouri may have been all in with Pribula there.
They've been all in for a while, but they've also completely punted on
Right.
baseball. They don't even try.
They're spending a lot of money.
They don't spend a dime on
LSU is
baseball.
all in.
Who is?
Missouri. Jesus.
Who's all in?
LSU is all in.
Yes, they are. It's another one. And by the way, how's that going for them, Mark? Half the
The
teams
quarterback's hurt. The quarterback's hurt.
half the teams that go all in don't get there.
Hey, would Ohio State be good with Joey Aguilar? Would they be as good as they are now?
No, and by the end of the year,
Oh.
definitely not. Because the same kid's like the number one quarterback is the number one statistical quarterback in the country.
You
Come
are
on.
just so.
The kid was come on.
Who's
the kid was
his
the number
wide
one quarterback
receiving
coming out.
core? You
He's
just-
the number one quarterback.
and
He's
who
the
they-
number one statistical quarterback in the country.
Who's his wide
Come on.
receiving core, and who are they playing? Come on, man.
Tony, who's Aguilar played? What are you talking about? If that's your logic, then
Whose
nobody's
wide
played
receiving
anybody.
core is better? Jeremiah Smith's a freak. Come on, man.
Tony, by your logic, nobody's played anybody. If Ohio State's played nobody, then nobody's played anybody. Then who have we played?
He's
Who have
got.
we played?
He's got.
Like, what are you talking
The
about?
Brazel kid who's having a great year, and the other two guys are mid on our receiving core. Come on now, guys. One guy can't catch a punt, and the other guy can't catch a pass.
Tony,
come on.
you're claiming that Ohio State's played nobody, but if you're saying that, then nobody's played anybody. Like, what are you talking about?
Joey Aguilar has been a breakout star in college football, and you keep talking about how he scored like 10 points against Mississippi State, which is a really embarrassing take
Which is
by
what
you.
happened. The truth, yes. They scored 13 points in 58 minutes. I'm not making that up. I didn't just pull that stat out of thin air. I saw the game. They had 13 offensive points in 58 minutes against Mississippi State. That's a fact.
Lumbo, you've been a lot of fun. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, but you're out of here. Let's bring William in here, who's up next. William, welcome in.
Yo, what's up, y'all?
Hey, Willie.
Okay. So, just in a couple days from now, the Tennessee Volunteers will finally play the Arkansas Razorbacks, which they've struggled against for some reason. So, let's see here. Arkansas just fired Sam Pittman after that disgusting loss to Notre Dame. They actually brought in a coach that they used to have. If I can correct. Okay, there.
Guys, what do y'all think?
Sure.
What do you think of Williams' points so far? See, I come to you.
Yeah, he's right. I mean, Petrino's had some success. It'll be interesting to see what they have drawn up differently and what they do differently than what we saw last year from Pittman. What we've seen it can't be any worse on defense. I know they have a guy calling plays on defense that's never done it before, but it can't be any worse than what we saw against Notre Dame.
So let's see here. Arkansas football head coach.
Willie! Good to hear your voice, man. How come you're not in school today, Willie?
Well, that's because I'm on fall break.
Let's go! How's school
Which means,
going this year?
unfortunately, I gotta-
Are you enjoying school so far?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it
Nice.
so far, Tony.
Nice.
Huh?
Good, man. What's your favorite subject?
I'll say social studies.
I love the study of people. I love social studies myself, man.
This upcoming term, I got gym as my 7th period. Got gym, and I love gym.
Hey, listen, William. Make sure you bring your sneakers, okay? Every gym class, because I got a C in gym. I didn't bring my sneakers to school 3 times, and I had a bunch of C's on my report card. And my father looked down at me getting a C in gym, and he called me a total dumb A, and looked at me in his Italian way and said, "What the hell is wrong with you?" He said, "Look, if you can't get these, you don't want to go to school, and you want to dig a ditch or whatever." He said, "Go for it." He said, I'm not going to impact, He said, "But no son of mine's ever going to bring a C home in gym." He said, why didn't you get an A?" I said, "Well, Dad, I forgot my sneakers 3 times." He said, "What? How about that, William? What do you think of that? I got a C in gym."
All because you didn't bring your sneakers?
Yes.
That's dumb. That's dumb.
What do you think of it, C? You think it's just what that teacher did to me?
You could participate without sneakers. You could have leave your sneakers there so you'll have them. Leave a pair there.
You could have gone barefoot, Tony.
Well, I guess these days you could go barefoot, be a furry, and do whatever you want to do, but back then, no. William, you are having, in the words of Billy Jarvis right now, a solid gold phone call. Do you have anything else for us, and are you coming to Calhoun's tomorrow on the river with your father and your lovely mother? Because it was incredible interfacing with y'all last time.
I don't know if we're going to be going up to Calhoun's tomorrow. Possibility, but I don't think so.
I want you there tomorrow night as part of our all-star Rocky Top chorus, and I hope you have a Dwight Gooden. Anything else for us?
Yeah. On Saturday, when the time has finally come for Tennessee football to be back, finally, I hope we beat the crap out of Arkansas.
Let's go. You're the man. I want to take a club to that man, and I want his neck brace back on when that game concludes.
Williams never seen Tennessee beat Arkansas.
Not that I'm advocating violence. All right, Matt, run by the great Adam Sparks, who now joins us on the TLD Logistics Hotline, what you just shared with me about this whole Tennessee-Arkansas series and how bizarre it is.
But just since they joined the league, Arkansas has 5 wins against Tennessee when they were the underdog going into the game, which is the second most the school has against Tennessee in that time. Florida has 6, but Arkansas and South Carolina have each been underdogs and beaten Tennessee 5 times, which is kind of surprising, especially for Arkansas because they don't play them every year.
Adam, what gives with that? Why are certain series, as I welcome you in, like this in college football? Why are they like this?
Boy, that's a weird one, but I'm trying to think of the common denominator between Arkansas and South Carolina. Those are 2 teams that are usually good enough to beat a team that's asleep, but they're not a rivalry. They're not a rival, so Tennessee doesn't pay much attention to them. Right, Tennessee plays good teams that are good every year. They play rivals that are sometimes good, sometimes not, like a Florida. They play bad teams that are rivals, like a Vanderbilt. I'm just saying, like historically, generally. Arkansas and South Carolina are teams that if you sleepwalk in that game, you're going to get beat. And there's a better chance of you sleepwalking in that game because that game doesn't register as a big game. It's just, this is another, I would put Missouri in the past few years in that category. Like, you don't circle that game on the calendar, but they are good enough to beat you if you don't emphasize it. I think that's probably some of it. And that's what it was last year, right? I mean, going to Arkansas, it was like, oh, okay, this is different. You don't go to Arkansas every year. Let's go there, and they don't know much about them. Apparently, the quarterback's good, but who cares? And instead, Arkansas had that game you could tell circled to some extent. They changed up the defense last year. They seem to emphasize that game a lot, and Tennessee, as Arkansas said after the game, was pretty predictable in offense. And that was early enough in the year last year that we didn't know that Tennessee's offense, Josh Heupel, I think, knew it. We didn't know that Tennessee's offense was just piecing together what it could do to get first downs and points. We still thought this was a juggernaut that was going to explode. I think Josh Heupel knew it probably in the second half of the Oklahoma game, and we found out a little later. That's what's different, I think, in this game. I don't think he has to protect his quarterback. I don't think he has to call plays around his tackles that last year were injured and beat up and out of shape. There's some mystery in what Arkansas is going to do, but there was mystery in what Arkansas was going to do last year. I just think Tennessee's a different team than they were a year ago. Arkansas
is going to get lit up Saturday. I mean, we know that. If Tennessee plays to their level now, it's college football, and you still have to go out and play the game. It's kind of like the whole – I mean, I hate to say it, that whole Penn State thing last week, which looked totally bizarre, but that is the modern game right now. If you don't take somebody seriously, any of these teams outside of Kentucky in this league are going to whack you. And so – with that in mind, who has a big day for the Vols on Saturday? What do you feel coming?
I mean, they're going to hit some deep balls. I think at this point I don't know that there's been that much difference in Tennessee's performances each game, right? I mean, Brazel's going to get a touchdown. They're going to hit a couple of deep balls, not necessarily to the same receiver. They're going to run the ball reasonably well, but none of the running backs are going to hit 100 yards. Somebody's going to have 85 and somebody's going to have 60 and, whatever. I think I'll actually be surprised if, like, when you ask that question, who's going to have a big day, I'm thinking probably the same ones that have had a big day so far. Aguilar, Brazel, and then somebody on defense is going to make some big play, turnover. Colton Hood's had a couple defensive touchdowns. The strip sack with West and Joseph's this last game. There's just going to be like one of those plays, and you just have to avoid boneheaded mistakes on special teams.
Matt, go ahead, Brian.
Adam, does the coaching staff having to have a change at Arkansas, does that make a difference in how much Heupel has to put into looking at some of the things they might do different? Has that been a problem this week, or is it something that's just business as usual?
I asked Heupel about that some, and I asked Halsley about it quite a bit this week. And there's a fine line between the deep dive into all the different iterations of what you may see of the Arkansas defense. There's a fine line between that and then paralysis by analysis. I thought Halsley put it a good way, where he said we can't prepare this offense for 9 different defenses, because then you're just going to have everybody wondering, like, well, what is Arkansas going to do? And when you start spending so much time on what your opponent is going to do, you lose what you need to do. And I think last season the difference in that offense was they were trying to they were so slow because they were trying to prepare Nico for all these different things, and Nico was slow processing. If you look at that game last year, they came out in a 3-man front. They dropped deep coverage. The tackles didn't know what to do with that. Nico was really slow in understanding what he was supposed to do. I think this offense is different in that they just go attack, and whatever they're trying to attack, that's what they're attacking. I mean, Halsley said, they prepared Aguilar for a defense each week, but each of the teams that they have played have come out in a different defense than what they thought they were going to see. And he's adjusted to all of them. That's the same thing that happened early in the season last year with Oklahoma and Arkansas. You're preparing for one defense, instead they came out with another. And Nico in that offense was really slow to adjust, to the point where Heupel had to shut down the offense and just try to get through it. This year, teams have come out in a different defensive look than they expected, and it's made no difference.
Around the room here, let's go around the room. Do they come out, because against these G5 and easier defenses, they've come out in the wide splits. In the league game so far, they've come out and done the tighter stuff. What do you think, Adam, we see from the Vols on offense? Adam Sparks, you first. What do you think we see, the tight or the wide stuff?
They'll want to do the wide stuff, I think, initially, because they've had a lot of success just getting the ball down the field in that way. Personnel, I think, they've come out in some of the wide stuff because they haven't been they didn't have two tight ends. So last game you saw them kind of wide for a while, and then they went more tight at the end of the game and in overtime. And that's because they put Jack Van Dorselaer out there and said, let's see if we can do it with this guy. And he made a key block on Aguilar's touchdown. He made the key block on Bishop's touchdown in overtime. And so I think they come into this one thinking they have more options because they feel like he can take Ethan Davis's snaps if Ethan Davis can't go. So they'll do a little of both. But I do think there's this – Josh Heupel wants to light up the scoreboard in this one. He heard some of the stuff coming out of last game. He would never let you know about that, but he heard the stuff coming out of last game. This is predictable. It's slow. You can't put points on this defense. And so I think he will be eager to try to put a lot of points on the board quickly and hit some deep shots because that's something they just could never do last year.
Oh, so you think that Heupel's going to going to internalize some of the stuff that was said last year about his
I think he always does that, and he never tells anybody.
Yes, I love it.
That.
He carries grudges, too. I kind of like him. I sort of love that. Okay, Matt, what do they do with the splits? What do you think?
I think they'll mix it some, but I think you'll start wide.
Yeah, because they can do it with these guys.
I mean, regardless of what split you do, you're going to go right down the field and score.
You're going to rip these guys apart.
That's Heupel's track record. That's what Arkansas has given up all year.
How many?
You should be able to do whatever you want to offensively, but like Adam said, I think Heupel's had this game circled since last year when they got really outcoached on both sides of the ball. So I think Heupel's going to be deep in his bag this year, even though he probably doesn't need to be this game.
I love the term bag. We've used that in the first hour now, 50 minutes in. Hey, Adam, as Adam Sparks joins on our TLD Logistics phone lines, obviously this week we all had heard behind the scenes they were targeting getting McCoy back. He went last week and worked out and went kind of hard, sort of ramping up, and he's had some swelling in his knee and some discomfort and all that stuff. What are you hearing? Like, when can we expect to see him, or is that going to be just a case-by-case basis here?
Well, I've heard all along the way that he is eager to get out there, just personally. And you usually don't talk to new players that much, but I talked to him for a few times, had one-on-one interview with him, extensive interview last season, I remember. I talked to his parents last season. And if anybody that tells me that he doesn't want to go out there or he's dragging his feet because of the draft and all that, that's completely false. That's the opposite of anything that I've seen in his character. That I think there's a better chance that he's having to be talked out of going out there too quickly. So Jermon McCoy wants to play. He absolutely wants to play. I mean, with any of these, you get advice about what you should do and shouldn't do. I mean, he also has to make a professional decision about if coming back helps or how much it could help him versus how much it could hurt him. I mean, if he comes back and he's just decent, he's okay, looks a little sluggish, he could go from a first-round pick to a third-round pick. If he doesn't come back at all, maybe he's still a first-round pick, but if he has like a bad combine performance, he could again slide to like the third round. If he comes back, let's say later in the year when he knows he's really close to 100%, let's say, 2 or 3 games from now, maybe like the Kentucky game, Oklahoma game, and he plays really well for a month, he's a first-round pick. He may be a top 15 pick. So there's so many, week to week, and I'm sure day to day, he's kind of gauging this about if I come back now, what happens? If I come back in a week, what happens? But I was told behind the scenes, like he has not been medically cleared. So this goes from medical team to player or maybe player medical team and then to coaches. And to my knowledge, it has not gotten to coaches. It has not been like, Josh, Hop, Tim Banks, are you cool with him playing? It hasn't even got to their desk yet. So until he's medically cleared, it just doesn't matter. And I see a lot of people saying like, well, he's just 9 months. I Googled it and it said an ACL. Adrian Peterson came back faster than that. Well, you're comparing him to like the top 1% of 1% ever in ACL. Go and look at what ACLs for a lot of other athletes have been, and it's been a year. So
you're exactly right. I think
he's fine. Give him a couple weeks
on the campus. I think about Zakai Ziegler, right, which is a similar deal. You're playing point guard. You got to cut. You got to move. You got to go against world-class people. You have to be able to defend them. You have to be able to stop them from getting to their spot. Zakai Ziegler came back very quickly, and then it took him about 7 or 8 weeks till the middle of the season, and they had their surgeries right around the same time. They had their injuries and their surgeries right in the same time. And if you look at the timeline, it took Zakai Ziegler what would essentially be about 6 weeks from now to get back to looking like he could have looked if you lay those timelines right on top of each other. So I hear what you hear about the McCoy kid, which is that he loves the sport. He loves it here. He wants to be on the field. He wanted to be on the field for this game. His body didn't cooperate. It kind of is what it is. David Sanders. Wow. What a physical presence when he was out there the other day. Just an unbelievable physical presence. Does he start this football game? Do they do something else with their offensive line? They're not telling anybody. What do you hear?
I think they'll use both versions. I think they'll. One thing you can say is that Glenn Ellerbe has rotated guys before, usually at guard, but sometimes at tackle. I mean, most conference games of his tenure, you've looked out there sometime in like the late second quarter, late third quarter, and you've seen a sixth guy in there on the offensive line. They've rotated a guy in for a series or two. So the good thing about that is if you see David Sanders start, that doesn't mean that Umarov is not going to be in the game. He probably will be at some point. And that won't necessarily mean something. If you see the regular 5 start and then David Sanders rotates in the second quarter, that also doesn't mean anything. You can, if they tell us after, like, as Josh Hoppola said, we need all of them or whatever.
Yep.
There's some validity to that because that's what they've done in the past. So it's not going to be. We're not going to freak out because they rotate Sanders in or they start Sanders and rotate him out, because that's sort of what they've done with their offensive line for a long time, that they've just, you don't have to play the whole game. At least the 5th/6th guys don't have to play the whole game. So I don't know that it matters too much whether or not he starts, but I would be surprised if they start the game with 5 and play the entire game with those 5.
Adam Sparks, shout him out. How do we find you? Your podcast. I know you star Stud and Stallion with John Adams. Share it with us.
Imprint is the News Sentinel. Online is knoxnews.com. You can find a podcast on there. The Volunteer State is the name of the podcast. You can find it on any of the podcast apps you follow. And on X, at Adam Sparks.
Adam Loves, man. Thank you, brother.
All right, good to be on. We'll see
You're the man. You're the man. Tomorrow we're live at Calhoun's on the River. It's going to be unbelievable. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. We continue on the other side. In our extra hour today, our playoff extravaganza. On the other side, we're going to take some phone calls. We think there's 26 teams alive for the playoffs right now entering the weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun to break it down scientifically as we continue with more on the other side right after this.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, if you're raising money, do it with locally roasted Grade A Grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Score a TD every time with T3 Vodka. T3 is Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka is taking the Volunteer State by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. Filtered 10 times and 80 proof, T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness that's unmatched. This dedication to excellence has already earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka and the 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat or on the rocks or mixing up your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka is your choice for a premium, award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD and ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right. Drink T3 Vodka and score a touchdown every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka. Distributed by Athens Distributing Company. Please drink responsibly. Basilio here. No one does it like Alumni Hall. I'm here to tell you, living Vol fan, only one place. That's the best place to shop for Tennessee gear, and that's Alumni Hall. The best and largest selection of Tennessee apparel for the whole family. Top brands like Nike and Champion, Columbia, Peter Millar. Load up on hats, accessories, Yeti, all your tailgating necessities. Download the Alumni Hall app, click account, and it'll tell you how much Hall cash you've earned. You earn $10 in rewards for every $150 you spend. Alumni Hall, with physical locations in Murfreesboro, Bristol, and 3 locations in Knoxville, now open in Johnson City. Pop into Alumni Hall and get ready and tell them Tony B sent you. When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio Show, 10% off your first job. Let's go! Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm gonna hop online and I'm gonna get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold way filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Basilio here for Budget Transmissions. TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, took his Ford Escape to budget, and like our gold bullet back in the day, it was a total mess. And now, Matt's back in the game. He's got a new transmission, axle, wheel bearing, both radiator hoses, engine mounts, coolant hoses. I mean, his Ford Escape was about to escape to the junkyard, but he didn't begrudge it. He took it to budget, and now he's on his way back to Omaha. Budget Transmissions, over 30 years in business, conveniently located in Bearden. All extended service contracts are honored. A gold certified Repair Pal member. 865-584-4391. 865-584-4391. Budget Transmissions. Don't begrudge it. Take it to budget.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama ZZ approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and ZZ.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols.
T to the B back with you. We're taking you up to the playbook with William Pattison. I'm fired up, focused, and prepared here in hour two. You should be as well. Stacked, packed, and jacked. Honoring the 85 team C this weekend and the 90 team this weekend C. And you had a little idea. You had a homework assignment for one of our listeners, maybe perhaps for tomorrow.
Yeah, I was thinking about W. Lynn. He obviously is the resident historian here. I was wondering if he could give us what maybe a 12-team playoff would have looked like in 1985. And Matt had a good idea. I'd like to see the 67 team. The newly minted, or I guess not newly, but newly recognized or newly celebrated 67 national championship team that W. Lynn said he doesn't recognize the national champion. What would that 12 or 16 team playoff have looked like for that group as well? So if we could get W. Lynn to maybe call in, and yeah, I think he could probably carry the discussion with you at Calhoun's, you and Bino tomorrow. If you maybe give him the floor, I think he could run the show tomorrow.
Back to the phones we go. RJ Choppy's going to be with us tomorrow, Dallas radio personality. At some point, Titans Bill needs to call in today and sing happy birthday to Tony Vitello. We will call Tony's personal cell phone. We will do that at some point this hour. Matt, do you think it would be comical to call Tony's cell phone and have Titans Bill sing to him? Yay or nay? Where are you on that?
I actually think that's an incredible idea. I would just love to see Vitello's reaction when he listens to the voicemail after he sends it to it.
Or do we get like Rapper Andy to rap to him? Or maybe Barney Boy. The last time we interfaced him with Barney Boy, it went real well. Hello and welcome into our next call. You're on your TLD Logistics phone lines. It is hour 2 on our Thursday. C's in the house. And check out our WeShipFloors.com Tennessee Hardwood Report because, well, the Supercore floor they're dealing in is the best in the biz, my good friends. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony B, Zach and Raleigh.
Hey, Zach, did I answer the clarion call for you? Did I heed the clarion call?
I think you did, brother. Good to hear you. Been trying to get in for weeks now, but, man, I would hang up right now just to hear Titans Bill call Tony Vols. But I was listening about the call about Belichick and the Concepcion kid from Raleigh. I guarantee you that quarterback from NC State will be in the portal by the end of their season and probably on an SEC team. The C.J. Bailey kid.
Hey, could C.J. Bailey help an SEC team, in your opinion?
Yes, he's very talented. Probably some untapped potential there too. I think I'm not sure how much Doreen is helping him there.
Who could C.J. Bailey fit with, in your humble opinion, in this league? Who would be the best fit?
I mean, if Joey Aguilar doesn't get another year, I would take him. Because that kid's played some games. And you don't want to start a true freshman next year. We all know that.
The problem is, though, C.J. Bailey's going to be one of the top 3, I think, highest-paid guys out of the portal from what folks are saying. So that would be kind of a difficult unless you just wanted to commit to it. And that will be interesting. Matt, it will be interesting to see what the Vols do. I guess it all depends on how they see George McIntyre, right, Matt?
Yeah. If they think he can be at least a 1 year dependable starter, because otherwise, I mean, with Brandon coming in, it's not a very appealing to a lot of the higher profile quarterback guys that would be in the portal. I wouldn't think. I mean, I guess you could obviously money whip somebody, but it's one of those tricky spots where you definitely need an arm. But it's hard to just go get an arm that's serviceable for what you need. Because the one thing that Lumbus says that I am going to agree with is you don't want to throw up a stinker year in a tweener year. You don't want to do that. You want to at least put yourself in a spot where you qualify for either a 12 or a 16-team playoff, depending on what it's going to look like. At least you're knocking on the door of it. You don't want to throw up a 7-5. And if you have an inexperienced quarterback against that schedule that you're not comfortable playing versus a veteran quarterback you can bone up, get ready like they've done this year, you can go 7-5 pretty quickly if you're limited offensively, because that's what happened to Tennessee with Arkansas last year. They were limited offensively. Arkansas knew it. They kept them in kind of a blender. And you got it, Raleigh. You're speaking the truth.
Yeah, man, I just I think next year the move is probably going to be to get another 1 year guy. That's just what I see happening. I don't see you putting Brandon out there or Merklinger or GMAC. I just don't see that happening. But no, man, it was good to get in. I'll actually see you tomorrow. I'll be at Calhoun's with my dad.
Hey, thank
we'll be
you,
down
brother.
there and
I'll hug your
you.
neck.
And you better be in a neck brace. I want to see it.
I'll hug your neck, brother, and you can put me. Maybe you can pile drive me. Thank you. That's what we ought to do. Is have me get pile driven to the ground, 865-200-5402. Matt, so I went yesterday, funny story for you guys. So I've been going to physical therapy, and I've kind of messed the top of my back up and the bottom of my back up all at once. I don't want to bore anybody with that, but that's kind of what I've been through. Too much guitar playing and bad posture. I've had pain in my hands, pain in my feet. It's been kind of a rough deal, but I'm getting through it because I'm doing these exercises, and I'm a pretty good student. And I listen, and I'm coachable, and I don't like this pain, and I don't want to take things for the pain. I just want to get out of the pain, and you can do that. If you listen to these people, they know their science. So I text Mike Andrews, who owns Andrews Physical Therapy, he and his lovely wife Mary, and I text him the other day, and I said, Mike, I need a neck brace. And I need some rouge. And he goes to Mary. He doesn't understand the bit, Matt, because the bit obviously is that Catrino's coming to town, and Catrino's a clown, and he'll always be the guy that that looked like he had the pizza face with the neck brace. It'll never be forgotten by the living fan. So his wife walks up to me yesterday, and she goes, Tony, are your neck issues so bad that you need a brace? And I went, huh? Excuse me? Matt, they thought that my neck was in such bad shape that I needed bracing. because they've been gone for a couple
That's why
weeks.
it would have actually been believable if we had kept a bit off air and you just showed up down there with the neck brace. How many people would actually get it, that it was a play on Petrino?
Well, what I want to encourage people to do is if you have.
Do you at least wear your sneakers to physical therapy?
Yeah. Thank you. I'll wear that proudly. If you have a neck brace, please wear it. I think it'd be a fun thing for those Arkansas people. And I'm going to get some Roni tomorrow. I'm going to go in the back seat and get some Roni, or maybe some like marinara sauce, and like spread it all over my cheeks. Thoughts on that, C? Think I'll draw flies?
They have mozzarella sticks there. You can help them out. That can help you.
What do you think, C?
I don't have any thoughts on that.
Would I draw flies? C's our resident taxidermist. Let's go back to the phones and get our next call in. On your TLD Logistics phone lines. And Brian tells me that Florida's now on hold in our next set of 4 love songs in a row. Wow, this is a Florida Colombo double dip day. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Well, only one of them actually admits they're a fan of that team, though.
Interesting.
But, Tony, you're right in the fact that I'm a guy who has always said that quarterback play is the most important position in all of sports, over hockey goalies, et cetera, et cetera. And I think at the NFL, you don't have a chance to win a Super Bowl without a quarterback that can play at least to a pretty good level. I mean, last time, I guess, was Dilfer winning one. But in this college age, it's been proven every year since Trevor Lawrence won one, you're better off with having an elite roster and spending all your money on your roster and having a quarterback that can function. And I hope the Brandon kid is fantastic, or that McIntyre is fantastic.
Yep.
I really do, but
we haven't seen him. Like Rusty's talking.
Right, but we haven't seen them. We don't know.
Lumbo was talking out both sides of his mouth today. It's like, you got to load up for 27. How do I know that? I haven't seen those guys play.
Yeah, and I mean, are we really thinking that what we weren't loading up this year, we weren't planning on not having Gibson and McCoy? That's a pretty massive difference in who we are as a football team. I mean, if this year's offense and last year's defense, which we thought we were getting last year's defense back, but we didn't realize McCoy was going to, go longer after the ACL than we had hoped, and we didn't realize Gibson was going to tear a pec in the first half of the Syracuse game. I mean, that's a big, big difference. I do agree with there's probably a chance that this team currently can't beat like Miami or Ohio State unless it gets a ton of breaks in a playoff situation. Everybody else, including Oregon, this team can beat any given Saturday or Friday night, depending on the playoff scenario.
What do you guys think of Rusty's point? Because I'm not going to say never, ever, ever when it comes to you can't beat a team in major college
you need
football.
breaks. You need breaks.
Yeah. But what about Rusty's point, guys, that Mark dismissing our team this year, if that defense is intact, guys, the Vols beat that Georgia team. Yes or no, Matt?
Well, think about this. Even the great teams could have an injury on defense at a key spot and a key time, and that could compromise their ability. So you just never know. You get in, you never know.
Or Will Howard gets a concussion. That was brought up. Or Sayan gets a concussion. I mean, those things can happen.
Carson Beck got hurt in the SEC title game, and it probably cost Georgia that Notre Dame game.
There you go. Exactly.
It did. It absolutely did. No, there's all those scenarios that are out there. The great Brooks Austin rated his quarterbacks, and I'm going to take a guy who watches 60 hours a week of film, his opinion, over casuals who watch 2 games live a week, maybe 3 games live a week if they watch all 3 windows. And he likes saying he's got him 10th through, early in his career. That's pretty high praise. But Joey Aguilar is 2 on that list with Brooks.
Say that again. Where is Joey Aguilar? The guy watches hundreds of hours of film versus a bloviator that lives in Columbus, Ohio.
Dose.
A casual.
Number two.
Casual.
Number two. Now, it's all about a lot of that is what are you being asked to do as a quarterback. Joey's having a ton put on his shoulders. We are pass first this year, and last year we were run first. The year before we were run first. So, if you didn't know any better, and I asked you this question, who was the one player for Penn State that actually showed up at UCLA last week? Who would you think that is?
I'd have no idea.
Because I know who Penn State fans hate.
Yeah, I have no idea who showed up. You tell me.
Drew Aller.
Yeah, quarterback.
He ran around. Yeah.
He actually was
ran
the
around.
only dude that graded out well. If you watch the film, he played extremely well, and the rest of the team was not there. But I guarantee you, the casual fan, mostly the Penn State fan base, would never think or say that Aller played well in that ball game. Because it's all about perspective and our own narratives that we have in our mind.
Yep. Well, Colombo won't give any credit. How about 3 balls were dropped in that game for Tennessee? How about a offensive pass interference that was a phantom call? And Colombo keeps saying, "Well, you only scored 10 points." And I'm just saying facts. No, you're not.
You had three balls dropped that would have converted first downs on third downs. You had 2 balls hit a tight end in the palms that came off his hands for interceptions. You had a drop touchdown, walk-in touchdown by Matthews, and you had an OPI taken away. That's a pretty significant thing that has nothing to do with the quarterback. And you still, when it mattered, when it was cutting time, you went and got the 7 points you needed, and you went and scored in overtime.
It is really unbelievable. He really I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
There's 25 quarterbacks that could go get under center in college football right now with that Ohio State talent around it and be just as successful.
He won't say it.
No.
And our guy's one of them.
Lagway would look like Tom Brady in that offense.
Yep.
Nussmeier would look like Tom Brady in that offense.
Yep.
Hoover at TCU would look like Tom Brady. The kid at Arizona State would look like Tom Brady in that offense. There's a bunch of dudes that, because they're not asking you to do much, they're just saying, just don't screw it up. When guys are wide open, which there's plenty of guys wide open between Tate and Smith and the tight ends, and the defense doesn't allow points, it's not real. It's not exactly rocket science to play quarterback for that team, and it wasn't last year either. Anyway,
well, listen,
let's get to Florida and let's hear about some junior high football or pre-junior high football.
Some prepubescent football. It sounds like Florida. A shot was just taken at you. Not that I want to.
Let's get to Florida and let's hear about.
Okay, there it is. All right, here Florida's going to pick it up. Listen, guys, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Florida, what's up?
Man, I just be damn. Whoever that was, you got one coming back from me as soon as I find out who the hell you was. But Tony B, listen, man, are you sounding like you kind of fearful of your little guy coming here from Arkansas Saturday? Are you scared?
Matt, are you scared of Arkansas? The little guy coming in from Arkansas. He's a nice quarterback, nice player. Matt, are you scared?
Go
ahead, Brian.
Goy leads he is one of the top offensive players in the country.
He's an excellent player.
He did a pretty good job, slowing him down last year. But no, you're concerned that he could score a lot. But I mean, I'm not concerned that they're going to lose the game because I don't think Arkansas can stop Tennessee at all.
AC, crazy question for you. What kind of fits that kid in our offense?
Taylor Green?
Yeah.
I mean, I think he'd be a good fit. I think he's a very good player. Like Matt said, I think they'll be able to move the ball and score on Tennessee. I just don't think the problem for them is just they're not going to be able to. They'll be lucky to get 2 or 3 stops in the game.
Hey, who's a better player, Taylor Green or the quarterback from Florida? Florida.
What you say again, Tony B? I didn't hear you. What you say?
better quarterback right now, Taylon Green or the quarterback from Florida?
Taylon Green right now.
Yeah, he's a great player.
Because they beat Texas. I mean, they beat Texas. So what? I told you at the beginning of the year, Arch Manning was overrated and slow, and you didn't believe me. And all y'all got a high on this little hype train that y'all always ride on. And all these teams are overrated, man. Every last one of them. Every last one of these teams are overrated. And when they play the caliber of teams
I'm having trouble here in Florida.
Going to bring in the noise, which is anybody in the SEC right now. Anybody. It could be anybody in the SEC. Do you agree with that, Tony B?
Anybody can beat anybody in this league, yes. Totally.
Okay. So where's the hype, bro? Where's the hype? If you look at it, the ACC's competing with the SEC, which everybody just thought it was just Big Ten and SEC. That's not true. Now Clemson done showed their true colors. Dabo didn't want to go into the portal, but guess what? Stuff generally come back to haunt you when you don't want to do the right thing by these kids. So guess what? Everybody going to pay the price when you don't start doing what's right by the kids. I'm just telling you.
Florida, so, you might be on to something, buddy. You might be on to something.
I'm just telling you, Tony, because guess what? It's pay to play now, and it's all over. Everybody can do it. SMU got smacked for it. A lot of people got smacked for it a long time ago. But guess what? You can do whatever now. You can do whatever you want, but you just got to do it in January instead of December. So guess what? You better start paying these kids. If you want to win the ships, you better start paying them. And that's just the bottom line, man. But listen, don't worry about Arkansas. Y'all going to beat Arkansas. You got the easiest schedule in college football. The game I want to talk about is what's coming up with Texas A&M and my Gators, bro. Upset alert. Because Dallas Wilson is back. He's back, and he's stronger. DJ Lagway, I think that's who he was waiting on. Because the other one was a little dude was a little soft to me. So, I'm going to put everybody on upset alert. Okay?
Florida, you got A&M. You got Florida over in A&M. See, who do you like in that game this weekend? You got Florida over A&M, see? Who do you got?
I've got A&M this week, Tony. It's going to be a tough matchup for Florida. I don't think they're going to be able to I'm not sure they're going to be able to hold up for 60 minutes against the run. I know their defense is very good, but this is a much tougher challenge than what we saw against Texas. Night and day with the offensive lines.
Night and day, Florida. What you're about to witness.
Oh my God, man! Hey, listen. What is he, an analyst or something?
Yeah, he analysts.
He can be wrong. he don't know every damn thing. He can be wrong.
He knows pretty close. He knows pretty close to everything.
Oh well, he can be wrong this time.
And what he doesn't know, Matt Dixon knows. These two guys got the world covered.
Hey man, they ain't covered nothing until they play the game.
Hey, 3/4 of the world.
I want to hear what either one of them got to say after the game has been played. Okay.
3/4 of the world's covered by water. The other quarter's covered by sea and TGMD, in my opinion.
Well, I tell you what, it's going to be a good game, and the 12th man might have a lot to say about it. But we're going to shut him up when we walk in the door.
You could be the man, brother. Appreciate you. We got through your call today because I got through it. Without any updates on the Nitro Football Association of the greater Tennessee Valley. More after this.
Guests appear on the TLD Logistics Hotline. Online at tldlogistics.com.
Are you currently a residential electrician? Would you like more benefits, better pay, more upside? What about a $3,000 signing bonus? Free company-paid health insurance, annual profit share, company vehicle, gas card, much more. Call Advent Electric today. Advent, known for their large commercial jobs around town, and due to high demand, they're adding additional roles for their residential department. Maybe you know a friend, family member that's a residential electrician. Spread the word. Email hr@adventelectric.com. hr@adventelectric.com. 865-588-0631 and ask for the Tony B 3K signing bonus. Advent Electric is hiring. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land? Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a two-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, if you're raising money, do it with locally roasted Grade A Grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morse here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Tony Basilio, and we are live once again with Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, you're out there on the field, 100 strong here in Knoxville. Talk to me. What's been going on with FC Alliance now that the weather's heating up?
We're out here for the first night of the boys' tryouts. We have over 400 kids that'll be here tonight. So a lot of exciting times right now for us. Our club team start at U9 and we go all the way through U19. We have over 1,000 kids that come from Chattanooga from the Tri-Cities that make all our teams and make this club what it is today. So we're excited about it. We finished the younger kids a couple of weeks ago. We just finished the girls last night, and now we're on to our older boys program as we speak right now.
And we're blowing and going in the Tri-Cities. Tell me about it.
We started FC Alliance North 1 year ago, and coming off the first year, we are the largest, most competitive club up in the Tri-Cities area. We just finished our tryouts last night. Looks like right now we will be well over 400 kids for the upcoming season. So great things happening up there. We've put our boys into some really good regional leagues. So we're excited about what the future holds for them and also our girls programs.
If you want more information, check them out at fcallianceknox.org. That's fcallianceknox.org. Chad Stockton, keep growing the beautiful game here in East Tennessee.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tony.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care. I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City,
Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
When it's past high noon, it's time for a vodka soda made with a vodka you've actually heard of. I'm talking White Claw vodka soda made with White Claw premium vodka. JB Smooth Only Drinks vodka soda made with the world's smoothest vodka.
And you can too. Pick you up a bottle of the triple wave filtered vodka that's been distilled 5 times. White Claw premium vodka comes in 4 flavors: black cherry, mango, pineapple, and just vodka. You haven't had vodka like this. No one has. White Claw premium vodka. Please drink responsibly.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to have a legendary moment here on the show. And by the way, W. Lynn has answered the clarion call of C from earlier in the show. We'll see how that goes. I am kind of breaking it down scientifically with you, moving right to left across your device, doing it with the greatest of ease. G. Matt Dixon, I've just been apprised that Barney Boy is on hold. In your humble opinion, should we call Tony Valls' personal cell and have Barney Boy sing happy birthday to him? And let me ask Barney Boy this. Barney Boy, can I trust you to behave yourself this time and not cut a promo on him?
Yes,
You're sure?
absolutely.
Barney, how you been, man?
Hey, still a Tennessee fan, but damn Heupel still rips my heart out sometimes. But we'll talk about that later.
Matt, how does he rip your heart out, Barney Boy?
You watch that Georgia game?
That wasn't good, yeah.
You watch the South Carolina game a couple years ago? It's just one game that gets me fired up and we ready to go, and he just, damn it. We'll talk about that later. Let's get old Coach V.
All right, let's call Coach V. Okay. Let's see here. Bri, where is Vitello's number? You want to give it to me? Bri, give it out on the air to me. Give me Vitello's. There he is. Should I tell Tony not to answer before we call, or just do it? Just do it. Matt, what's your call, Matt? You know this clown.
Yeah, he's probably driving on the Golden Gate Bridge now. No, he's smart enough to know what time it is, and he'll know it's an on-air bit. So he'll go. You might get 2 rings, and he'll send that thing to voicemail.
All right.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
If you dial the right number, obviously.
6, 5.
Almost gave his number out on the air. I'm sure Sean Barrows would have liked that.
At the tone, please record your message.
How about me
when
knowing?
you're finished
How about
recording, you
me?
may hang
How
up
about
or
me?
press 1 for more options.
Hey, Tony Vitello. What's up, Paisan? Happy birthday to you, my brother. Happy birthday to you. I got a special guest in Southwest Virginia that wants to sing happy birthday to you, a.k.a. Barney Boy. Barney Boy, hit it.
Happy birthday to you.
Cha-cha-cha.
Happy birthday to you.
Cha-cha-cha.
Happy birthday, Coach Lee. Happy birthday to you. Go Wolves!
Tony, we love you. God bless you, man. We love you, brother. All right, I'm kind of a mark for Tony Vitello. Very good. Barney Boy?
Yes.
Job well done. We might not need Titans Bill later on in the hour.
Hey,
Matt,
I'm still here. I retired. Actually, my son called me and heard y'all. He listens to y'all every day. I'm up here. I can't pick you up or nothing, but I'm still a Tennessee fan. But I do. Hey, while I got you on the phone, all you experts, can I ask a couple questions?
Barney Boy, I want you to answer the question before you ask me a couple questions.
Okay.
Have you smoked a J-Bone in the last month?
No.
All right. Go for it.
Now, I've drank some Jim Beam in the last hour.
Go for it.
Hey, what is y'all's opinion? Trust me, we in a better place with Heupel. I've been through the crappy years.
Yep.
But what's y'all's opinion on, is Heupel a average coach, good coach, great coach? And I'll give you my opinion.
Matt, better. What's our opinion with Heupel, Matt?
Well, I couldn't hear anything Barney Boy said, but I still like where the program's at and like what Heupel's doing. Obviously, got a big stretch coming up this month.
All right.
I don't know the context of what Barney Boy was saying though.
Say it again, Barney Boy. I think I dialed in their sensitivity.
I just want to know what everybody's feeling on Coach Heupel. Is he an average coach, a good coach, or a great coach?
Average coach, good coach, great coach, guys. And did Barney Boy sound better to you? We're trying to get this thing dialed in today. See, what would
I got a ton of questions.
See, what would you call Josh Heupel? See. Anybody? Brian, can you hear? What happened to you guys?
They don't want to talk to me.
They don't want to talk to you, Barney Boy. All right, let me dial them back in here. When Tony Basilio starts pushing buttons, Barney Boy, anything can and will happen. But Barney
I
Boy,
know this damn high-tech crap. I'm not worth a damn neither.
I'll answer the question. I think the man is a very good coach.
Okay, I'm going to give you I'm not going to go that far, and Tony, trust me. You know me back 10 years ago. I get sick when they lose.
Yep.
But the problem I have, I don't think last year he should have made some changes on the defensive side with either the defensive coordinator or the defensive back coach. He needs help. If he fire someone to help improve a certain position on that team, I don't think he ever will. And I think he needs help. I think our defense needs a good, whether it's a defensive back coach or a defensive coordinator. That's what's keeping this team back. And I don't think Heupel has got it in his DNA to fire anyone to help him out. And that's why I'm just borderline. I'm not completely on it. Hey, I want championships, Tony. I just turned 72 years old. I'm fired up.
Yep.
I want championships, okay?
Nobody blames you, Barney Boy.
Every year it's always going to be a damn game that he loses.
Yep.
It's always a damn game that he's like a deer with his head in the headlights. You don't know what to do. No timeouts. Don't know how to do time clocks. Don't know what kind of defense. And trust me, let's go back to the Arkansas game last year. Let a true freshman go down 9 plays and score and beat us.
Yes.
Don't know how to make adjustments on defense. That's what's keeping me back from praising Heupel. Is I don't think he will make changes to help him out, and I think that's going to be his downfall.
Okay. Whatever you say, Barney Boy. Listen, I think the guy's a good coach. I
do too.
Here's the issue. Here's the issue. You're not going to win them all. He was. The game management at the end of the Georgia game was very strange. I'm not going to lie to you. And the game management at the end of the Mississippi State game was bizarre. So.
Well, it's not only this year. That's South Carolina game.
Yeah, but you can always point to the losses, man. Come on.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Tony. I want to get this throw up sick feeling out of my stomach when we lose. When you're right there riding the ship for a championship, and then all of a sudden you get beat by South Carolina, 28-point favorites. I mean, hey, we're better off. Absolutely, we're better off with him. But I just don't think he's got what it takes to win championships, whether it's the SEC or national. I just don't think he can coach on the sidelines.
Barney Boy, I disagree with that, but I do think it's. I do think that he may need some help because I think he calls plays. I think he calls plays, and I think it would help him. I think it would help him to have somebody down there or somebody in his ear that kind of helps him with some of this game management stuff. I do think that.
And another thing I don't understand, too, up here, ESPN, everybody talks about how our defense is great. But, my God, I just see them just get lit up. Can't stop some third and long. They couldn't stop third and long. I mean, what is it? I think if he gets a couple coaches, good coordinators or whatever, that will put him over the hump to where we can really, truly say we're in it for championships. And, Tony, I've been doing this for 50, 60 years, going up, down 81. I'm still passionate for Tennessee, but I'm getting at the age now, I want to see a championship. And it's just always a game that just, I sit down and I just feel sick to my, I still can't believe we lost that Georgia game.
Well, I don't think Georgia's a very good team, and I think this season's going to prove that out by their standards. Now, I still think they're probably going to get into the playoff, but I don't think by their standards they're who they were and who they've been, and I think that was a huge opportunity lost for Tennessee. I agree with you.
Yeah, well, I was waiting on the phone. You had a Florida Gator fan on the phone. Am I right?
That was him, yep.
Just tell him that Florida Gator fan, they done lost their damn mind. Here they all fired up. They're getting ready to fire that coach, and the best team in the state of Florida is the Hurricanes. And you got Florida fans calling them like that, they done lost their damn mind. Oh, I'm fired up. Hey, Tennessee better be careful.
No question, Barney boy. Got to pay attention this weekend, right?
Yes. And Tony, it's good to talk to you, buddy.
Thank you.
I'm still Tennessee through and through. Go Big Orange.
Thank you, Barney boy. Barney boy, when Barney called the night that Butch Jones choked one away against Oklahoma and said that the Vols ripped his heart out, that'll never be forgotten by this living fan. In the meantime, I've got to reconnect with my guys here. I fooled around with a couple of buttons. And, Laura, if you're listening, please get in here. Because that's why they don't let me touch technological stuff. I was trying to fix something. And I've completely fried this thing. But other than that, everything's great. As we continue with more on the other side, it is your Thursday edition of your Tony Basilio Show. We're live tomorrow at Calhoun's on the River. Callers, be patient. I'm going to try to reconnect with these folks and do this after this. Are you stuck in a dead-end job or ready for a new challenge? Do you feel like it's time to try a new career? Well, it's time to change lanes with TLD Logistics. My friends at TLD Logistics have some really exciting opportunities for you to learn a new skill. With a new 5-acre driving academy that's now under new leadership with all new course material. And the best part, it's absolutely free. What a great deal to set you on the road to higher pay. And TLD Logistics even offers weekly stipends to offset food and gas expenses. In 6 weeks' time, you could complete this course and be in compliance with FMCSA regulations. Then you're ready for the open road of opportunity. What are you waiting for? It's time to change lanes with TLD Logistics. Visit tldlogistics.com. That's tldlogistics.com. TLD Logistics.
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
VIP Play coming soon. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 plus and located in Tennessee to bet.
Stevie here for Cedar Bluff Plumbing, a live and local company that's been serving our area for over 32 years and counting because every customer counts, and I mean no job is too small. Cedar Bluff Plumbing just voted #1 by City View magazine because multiple plumbing experts are on call to serve all your plumbing needs. Chances are there'll be a plumber in your area when you call, and they won't send some salesman to your house. You're going to get a high character, trustworthy, highly trained plumber who will serve you. Not like some of these guys that look like they came off the set of America's Most Wanted. Cedar Bluff Plumbing is Basilio tested and approved and will go the extra mile for you because Chucky Mack is a servant of the people and my consigliere to the throne, celebrating over 32 years of serving living volunteers. Cedar Bluff Plumbing. Call 588-4448. That's 588-4448. Cedar Bluff Plumbing.
This October, Pipe Wrench is serving up scary good savings with no tricks and just treats for your home comfort. This month only, you can get a free furnace upgrade with qualifying HVAC system installation, a free sediment filter with water heater installation, or protect your home's comfort with HVAC tune-up and plumbing system check bundle for just $129. Forget the tricks of surprise breakdowns, costly repairs, and high utility bills, as our limited time offers are designed to keep you cozy, comfortable, and confident all season long. Pipe Wrench is always your partner for energy-efficient and cost-effective upgrades that keep your family comfortable and safe year-round. We make it easy with free on-site estimates for replacements and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans including 0% financing with credit approval. You better hurry, because just like Halloween candy, these offers disappear after October 31st. Call Pipe Wrench at 865-264-8090 or book online at pipewrench.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dos with ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a two-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dos with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Chilio here, and you know my friends at Carnes Motor Company started with a dream over a quarter century ago. I met Rob and Brian back when I still had hair, and they were working at a huge dealership in West Knoxville. But they told me back then they wanted to sell cars on their terms, and I wanted to do radio on my terms. Their terms, just like my terms, are ultimately your terms. In both cases, you're the winner. A Car Guru's National Award winner with a 5-star rating on all sites, just like our Vols. Everything about buying a car from Carnes Motor Company is no hassle. They specialize in high-quality pre-owned vehicles between the $5,000 to $25,000 range. And if you need to sell a car, they'll either buy your car or they'll help you sell it. Carnes Motor Company also has a top-notch service department. Therefore, every vehicle is rigorously inspected and serviced prior to delivery, so you're guaranteed to get a quality pre-owned vehicle every time. If you need a place for service, they've got you covered. Come be a part of the Carnes Motor Company family and tell them you heard about it from me. Online at carnesmotor.com, Oak Ridge Highway, 1 mile past the Carnes light. Carnes Motor Company. Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good. Basilio here reminding you that when you want to sell your extra tickets to the game, you don't want to give your life away online with all your personal information just because you want to sell a few extra tickets. Clark Moore at Select Ticket Service will gladly buy your extra game tickets and your extra parking passes. And the best part? Clarky Boy pays cash. 865-919-1016. 865-919-1016. Clarky Boy pays cash at Select Ticket Service. Clarky Boy pays cash. It's been a day of clarion calls being heated. See, your clarion call has just been heated. Here's W. Lynn now. W. Lynn, what is the assignment for W. Lynn, and we'll see if he's up to it. Because I don't know if W. Lynn's capable of doing this or not. So go ahead, C. Talk to W. Lynn here.
Yeah, I was hoping Matt and I, Bino even texted me about this during the break.
Okay.
Bino wants tomorrow, he might be able to do it off the top of his head, but if not, if we could get either a 12 or 16 playoff for the 85 team in honor of what they're doing this weekend, and then if possible, the 67 team too.
See, I'm working on that right now. I've got my Sports Illustrated Bible out, which is about 1,000 pages, and I'm going through the polls of 67 and 85, and it's all coming together.
Pretty great, man.
That's excellent. Well, tomorrow, Bino will be on the air down at Calhoun's. I don't know if you can get down there, but if not, I think they're going to carve out at least 15 minutes for you to kind of go through that with them.
Okay, because there is some interesting things that are going on. Back then, there was only five Power conferences, and in 85, the ACC was not considered a power conference.
Unbelievable.
And the other thing is the WAC conference is going to have 2 teams in it. If you believe that.
I'll believe anything.
But you got to remember, see, back then there was 21 independents, which they're all in conferences now, but people like Miami, Penn State, Florida State, they were all independents then, so that makes it interesting too. But yeah, I'm working on it, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to do the 12 team. If we got time, I'll do 16. But I want to get what would happen today with the 12 team conference. And one thing that we got to address is Florida. I'd like to remind him that in 1985, they were the most outlaw team in college football history. They were not allowed in any poll. They were not allowed to go to any bowl games. Their lockers were filled with cocaine and $100 bills. And if we use the rules that we have today where you count losses like that and turn them into wins, that Sugar Bowl team finishes 10-0-2 national champs. Because that loss should not be a loss on our record.
Do you guys agree that should not – we're a national champion right now, guys?
Let's just claim our 7th while we're at it.
Yeah.
Well, Auburn claimed some from 1910.
Because W. Lynn, you don't acknowledge the 67 thing, do you? You're not for that.
Let me rephrase that. What Dino and I were trying to say is, for starters, nobody knew about the Lichtenhouse poll. It was neither in the Journal or the New Sentinel.
Okay.
Coach Dickey didn't find out about it till maybe 10 years ago, because I talked to one of those players and they said they didn't know anything about it.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is we were 9-1 going to the Orange Bowl against 9-1 Oklahoma. We were 2, they were 3. Southern Cal was 1. We lost to Oklahoma, which made us finish 9-2. We lost to UCLA game 1, lost to Oklahoma game 11. What Bino and I were trying to say is, no, we didn't feel like we were national champions, and no, that doesn't feel like a national championship team.
That's all.
But I'll count any that are officially counted. I'll count because Alabama does that.
That's right.
But no, I did not feel at all like anything to do with the national championship team.
That's right.
Southern Cal won it that year. They had a loss too. They finished 10-1.
I just love to see how the playoff would stack up. Like C said, I think that'd be really hard for you to do though, W or Lynn.
No, I've got the final poll here right in front of me for 67.
Yeah, I don't know that you could do that.
Yeah, and you wouldn't believe the group of 4 representative is the Wyoming Cowboys at 10-0.
See, who would have known? I love Wyoming. I love their colors.
That was the last great year they ever had. Was they went 10-0, went to the Sugar Bowl that year. But yeah, they're in the playoff.
It's pretty next level, W. Lynn. Not gonna lie to you, pretty next level. And C, you've given him a great assignment. And W. Lynn, thank you for the call. So, Matt, do you think W. Lynn will be up to the task of heeding the clarion call?
It's a quick turnaround, but I think he will. He sounds like he's got a good head start on it.
I think he's going to struggle with the 67. I think he's going to struggle with the 67 team. I'll be honest with you.
Tony, I wonder, the one other thing we could add on is, outside of Wyoming, who else would have been in contention for that spot? I think that'd be something we need to kind of dive a little deeper in tomorrow. Maybe Bino could look into that too.
Speaking of the playoffs, what we're going to do on our TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime today, and then we'll break us out as a YouTube video as well, we're going to do a playoff symposium here because we're at the midseason. 26 football teams, 26 programs in Division I football, not the group of 5. We're not worried about them because they're getting one spot. 26 teams are alive for 11 spots right now. Now, we're going to name the 26, and then we're going to group them, and then we're going to talk about them, and then we're going to try to come up with what we think is going to happen the rest of the way, who to cheer for, who to cheer against, all that good stuff. And that's coming up here at tclub.team. In the meantime, the great William Pattison with the playbook is on the way next, and this young man showed a great sense of humor the other day when he was giving some love to Duval as he had a great Jaguar get up on, which makes him in simpatico with Brian Hartman. So the playbook with William Pattison on the way next. Peace, love you. Go to all my Philly teams today. Go, 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 everybody.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Here comes the symposium.
It's TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime, presented by TLD Logistics. Online at tldlogistics.com. And now let's go to the guys with today's edition of TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime.
It is a TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime. My name's Tony Basilio. Fired up folks and prepared for you on what has been an incredible, great Thursday. Welcome to our playoff symposium, the playoff symposium 2025 style. First of all, 26 teams are currently alive. Brian, guess how many of the teams are currently alive? We have this envelope hermetically sealed. Matt and C have put this together. The envelope is hermetically sealed right now and sitting backstage in a soundproof vault. Brian, how many Southeastern Conference teams do you think are on the list of 26 that are still alive? What's your guess?
I'm going to say 8 or 9.
All right. I'm going to reach over here and grab something to write on. C. Grade Brian Hartman's work. And how difficult was it to compile these teams, C?
Well, I just kind of went down the line. It wasn't super hard, but I don't have it. I guess I need to pull up my list as well.
Yeah,
I didn't realize we were going to be looking at I didn't realize we were going to be looking at through the envelope like this.
Well, it's
give me a second to get my bearings there.
I thought the thing was opaque. Matt, how excited are you for the stretch drive and what's to come here?
I'm always excited. It's fun every year. There's a lot more storylines and a lot more teams involved in it. So it's so much parity that it's obviously the projections are never going to wind up being right because there's going to be a lot of quote unquote upsets, which just because of the teams are just so compacted together.
Just don't tell Columbus that, because Columbus thinks that the big spenders are the only ones that can win it all, and I don't know that that's the case. I think sooner or later the improbability of the sport is going to bleed into that as well. But Ohio State last year was a Death Star, allegedly. They sure did put us into GTS, the go-to sleep. All right, see, let's list the playoff teams. The teams right now that come into this weekend alive for the playoffs.
All right, I've got, and you told me not to include the group of 5 teams, right?
They get one spot. So it's these 26 teams for 11
I count
spots.
28. 28 is how many I count.
28 for 11, okay.
All right, Ohio. I'll just start with the top: Ohio State, Miami,
right?
Oregon, Alabama. I mean, how do you want me to do this?
That's fine.
Do you want me to
just do it like you're doing it?
All right, Ohio State, Miami, Oregon, Alabama, Ole Miss, Georgia, A&M, Indiana, Texas Tech, Notre Dame, Oklahoma, LSU, Missouri.
Hang on a second here. Texas Tech, Indiana, Texas Tech. Go ahead. Missouri.
Notre Dame.
Okay.
Oklahoma.
Okay.
LSU.
Okay.
Missouri.
Okay.
Tennessee.
Okay.
Georgia Tech, Michigan.
Okay.
Texas.
Okay.
Arizona State.
Okay.
Utah.
Okay.
USC.
Okay.
Vandy.
Okay.
Penn State.
Okay.
Virginia. Cincinnati.
Okay.
BYU.
Okay.
Illinois.
Okay.
TCU and Auburn.
I'm going to read these out again. Matt, stop me when I get to somebody that you think is not going to get there. You ready? Because I want to tier these teams. For instance, the first tier, Tier 1, Matt, who we putting in Tier 1 right away? Tier 1 is, unless something crazy happens, these teams are going to be named when the 11 are announced in early December. Go ahead, Matt. Who's Tier 1?
Ohio State, Oregon, and Miami.
Okay.
I think are the only ones that I would put in that tier.
Okay. Anybody else, guys, belong in that tier? Are there any other slam dunks?
No, those are the threes. Those are the 3 by far ahead of everybody else.
In barring a miracle. So in barring a miracle are Ohio State, Oregon, Miami. What is Tier 2? What do we want to make Tier 2, guys?
I would put all those SEC teams. But I mean, I don't know how many spots. It's probably going to be, I would think 4, maybe 5 spots for these the rest of those SEC teams. Yeah, 5.
I think you'd have to put A&M and Alabama.
All right.
And
Ole Miss.
Georgia and Ole Miss.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I don't think you can put all the SEC teams there, but the ones that
I'm
are
saying the ones that are kind of
Yeah,
that haven't lost or are or Georgia or Alabama.
I would say, LSU, Tennessee, Missouri could be probably a tier below that.
And Oklahoma with their schedule would probably be in that tier.
Matt, do you agree or disagree with that?
In the second tier?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. These are teams that probably are going to get there, or that right now look like they have a leg up to get there out of our league. Heading into this weekend's play, which is all subject to change. For instance, Alabama loses to Missouri. Missouri goes into Tier 2, and Alabama they're on the scrap heap. They're in big trouble. We're just looking for Tier 2 teams from our league. Is Tennessee in Tier 2, Matt, for right now?
All these teams can move up or down.
Sure they can.
Week by week.
Sure they can.
Like, is this tier more likely to make the playoffs than not?
More likely than not.
I think that's a little bit more narrow. I think Alabama is in that.
Yes. Like A&M.
I guess A&M is.
Yeah.
And I want to say Georgia is, but I'm not sure. They're right, kind of 50-50-ish to me.
I think that's...
Ole Miss and Georgia, whoever wins that game, I think would be in that tier too. But the loser probably falls down a tier.
All right, I'm going to put winner of.
If Oklahoma wins this weekend, I think they might move into that tier.
I agree with that. Yeah, that's fair.
All right, Tier 3. Now, who else from the country goes into Tier 2? You look at them and you say, hey, that's a playoff team.
I think Texas Tech goes there, but I don't think that they really factor in because I think the Big 12 is only going to get one team.
All right.
So I don't think it really matters. But we could put them there. I think they're the favorite, clear-cut favorite to win the Big 12.
One bid league. All right, this is a discussion point now, Matt. What happens if Texas Tech runs a table from here, loses in their title game? Do they take two teams out of that league, Matt, or do they leave Texas Tech at home?
No, Texas Tech would get in just like SMU got in as a 2-loss team last year. No, if you go undefeated, if you're undefeated into the conference championship and you get upset, you're still making it. I think that TCU team that played for the title actually did that, where they were 12-0 and then actually lost the Big 12 title game and still made the 4-team playoff.
See, what do you think?
Yeah, I think they'll probably get in at 12-0, but not 11-1. I guess is probably. I don't think if they go 11-1, lose another game, they would get in because their non-league schedule was very bad. Like SMU last year had done a little bit of work in the non-league. I think SMU beat TCU last year. Is that right? And I think they had another win of significance. Texas Tech this year played 3 atrocious teams in the non-league, so I think that'll make it hard. If they lose a game and then lose the Big 12 title game as well, I think that'll make it very tough. So I think Tennessee fans should be cheering for Arizona State against Texas Tech. I think that would guarantee a one bid Big 12.
Okay, so cheer for Arizona State. I'm gonna put this all together concisely on a presentation, but just taking notes. We're talking this out here. This is we were going to do this here night off the air. And I said, guys, why don't we just do it in our third hour as we would do it on the air and let people hear how we arrive at this stuff. And if you have any input you want to share with us, please shoot me an email or over on YouTube on our chat, which I'm following along. Put it there. And I'd love to, if you want to get on our YouTube channel right now, it's at Tony Basilio, and jump in with us. So let's move along. Texas Tech, if they win that league, will make that league a one-bid league. That's what we're saying, right, guys? Or if they lose a regular season game, it would make that league a one-bid league. Is that a fair way of looking at it?
Yes.
So they either go undefeated, win them all, or lose a game.
Now we got to figure out if that's the ACC way, if they'll get
how
many bids they might get.
No, Miami I think is getting in no matter what, But the only thing we need to avoid in the ACC is Miami losing in the in the ACC title game.
Right.
That's the only way they could. Right?
What do you do with Georgia Tech?
Miami needs to win out.
Yeah, I do.
Miami needs win out. What happens?
I don't think Georgia.
I don't think ACC title game.
I don't think Georgia Tech or Virginia are getting in unless they beat Miami. In my personal opinion.
All right, so we'll go down.
Georgia Tech's going to lead. I guess if Georgia Tech beats Georgia, that would be the only other thing. I guess if Georgia Tech beats Georgia and then goes undefeated, then both Miami and Georgia Tech would get in.
All right, let's go down here and let's do Tier 5, teams that need a miracle to get in. I think that's a fair thing to look at. Teams that need something miraculous happen to get in, and we'll call this Tier 5, okay? The first Tier 5 team, guys, is Virginia. Fair? Let's just build this out for discussion purposes. We agree with that? Virginia, Matt, they're in it, but they need a miracle here to get in. Yes or no?
They're in it mathematically, yes. That's not a very good team.
How about Vanderbilt, guys? Same thing?
They fall in that as well.
Yeah, Illinois is another one that's probably
right.
a miracle.
Illinois needs a miracle.
Penn State.
Texas and Penn State.
I think Texas is Texas because they have I think Texas at 9-3 would be a very interesting discussion.
Yes, it would be.
All right,
Penn State needs to win out.
Let's put them in Tier 4. Let's put them in Tier 4.
Texas belongs a little ahead of these teams in my opinion because they could still lose another game and still probably get in.
We'll put Texas here because they opened the season with Ohio State, right? They're going to get some grace for that.
Correct. Yeah, and they lost. Like say they lose at Athens, at Gainesville, at Columbus. But they're if they're in the top 5 all the metrics, I think they would put them in.
Yeah. And they could even sneak into Atlanta at 6-2 in the league too with some tiebreaker.
All right.
And they'd have that win. They could also be going in with some momentum because they play A&M in the last game of the season. That'll give them a lot of pop if they win that game.
All right. Stop me when I name a Tier 5 team. You guys ready? Indiana, Texas Tech, Missouri, Notre Dame, Oklahoma, LSU, Tennessee, Georgia Tech, Michigan, Arizona State.
I think Notre Dame's in that. They have to win out.
Okay, we'll put Notre Dame there.
Michigan and
LSU needs to be on that too because, they only have the one loss, but that's a team that's tracking towards 8-4.
All right, we'll put them there for now. We'll put LSU.
The only thing about Notre Dame that I think makes them interesting is because Notre Dame is going to be a significant touchdown or more favorite in every game, and I think if they win them all, they're going to get in.
All right, let's Tier 3 them.
But I do agree. They're in a spot where they don't have any grace, but I don't think it's going to be a miracle. I think if they do what kind of is expected, they're going to get in. Which, right or wrong, I think losing a one possession game to both A&M and at Miami, I don't think they're going to punish them for that, even though they're not going to have any good wins.
Yeah, especially if A&M's a playoff team too.
Do you guys agree on that Notre Dame goes into Tier 3?
Yeah. I think Indiana's a hard team to place. I was thinking about that.
All right, let's do something with Indiana, guys. The rest of their schedule, does somebody have it? Can somebody pull up Indiana's schedule? Because this is the nitty-gritty when you start trying to figure out where to place these 28 teams. Right now, if you're following at home, in Tier 1, we have Ohio State. These teams are in barring a miracle.
Okay, Indiana.
Oregon, Miami. Tier 2, we have A&M, Alabama. The winner of Georgia and Ole Miss are Tier 2 teams, which means they're more than likely going to get in. Texas Tech, if you're following along, hang on one sec, Brian, needs to make the Big 12 a one-bid league. So you either cheer for Texas Tech to win them all, or you cheer for Arizona State to beat them in the regular season, at which point, either way, they make that league a one-bid league. So you pick your poison there. Tier 3, which is probably are going to get there, whether we like it or not. We're going to put Notre Dame in that because they are a 7-point favorite or better for the rest of the season. The schedule's just really easy, and they're not going to punish Notre Dame for losing 2 games. Notre Dame's still going to get in. All right. Where are we? Go ahead, Bri. Give me the schedule of Indiana. Let's look at it. See where we place.
They've got 2 really tough games at Oregon this week, and they've got a game at Penn State, but the rest of their schedule is very manageable. They have Michigan State and UCLA at home, at Maryland, Wisconsin at home, at Purdue. I say the Penn State game because it's at Happy Valley, so that could be challenging.
Hey, Matt,
and they're at Oregon this week, and really they don't have a ton
Matt,
other than that.
And Matt, if Indiana gets there, right, Matt? If Indiana gets there, and gets home at 10-2, are they going to put them in the playoff again?
More than likely, yeah. I would think so.
So we'll
especially with Penn State falling off, they're gonna want to put
make sure at least 3.
All right, let's tier 3.
I think another note you can make is the loser of the USC Michigan game this weekend is likely eliminated. Yeah.
All right.
I guess we could even add Indiana, with that, the Indiana Oregon winner this weekend probably goes in that tier 1.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. If Indiana wins this week, they're in.
Yeah, we're kind of projecting Oregon to win that.
Yeah. Indiana is in tier 3 right now. If beat Oregon, jump a tier.
Tier 1. No, tier 1. If they beat Oregon, I'd say they're in barring miracle. Wouldn't you guys?
Yeah, they go into that tier 1 deal. That's a lock. Yeah.
All right.
I think they're in. I think 10-2, like you guys said, they're in.
Yeah, they're 11-1 if they beat Oregon at the worst.
Yeah.
And the thing about them is,
11-1 anyway.
The thing about them is, kind of like last year, they score a lot of points, so they pass the eye test. And when you score a lot of points, you're gonna kind of pass the eye. Kind of like us, Matt, when we were really humming back in 2022. You pass the eye test when you score a lot of points. You just do.
Yeah, and Indiana's just overall, they're just a better team than they were last year, and they went 11-1 and were in the playoffs last year. And they're better this year.
They haven't given up more than
even if they go 10
points,
they're still better than that.
Okay, so tier 1's Ohio State, Oregon, Miami. Indiana could jump in there if they go to Oregon this weekend and shock the world. Okay, fine. This is going to give us, when we're done with this, a roadmap of who we need to cheer for and cheer against as we go forward. Because there are certain things, there are certain nooks and crannies within this thing when you start looking at it that Tennessee needs to happen. Some of you are married to the fact that Tennessee goes 10-2, they're in. Maybe. I hope you're right. But when you start looking at it, it gets kind of interesting. So the loser of Michigan USC becomes a tier 5 team.
They're out. No, I think they're probably out. The loser of probably tier 5. You're probably right.
Yeah,
because they do still have both. Because Michigan still has Ohio State. If they went 10-2 and beat Ohio State, they would, and then USC could still go 10-2 with a win over. If they beat both Oregon and Notre Dame, they would be in. So,
all right, where are we going to put Missouri? Missouri go into tier 3 right
there
now?
with Tennessee, wherever we put Tennessee.
Right?
When we agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree. Tier 3 is...
They're almost just the SEC version of Indiana, especially with this weekend coming up. If they win, if they were to beat Alabama, they get into that likely category.
All right, we'll put Mizzou there. We'll put UT there.
I think Mizzou has some more losable games though than Indy, because Mizzou still has to play at Auburn, at Vandy, A&M at home, at Oklahoma, which are all much tougher than anything Indiana has left. Besides,
they could win this weekend and still go 9-3. Yeah.
So Missouri and the Vols are both in tier 3. Who else is in tier 3 from the SEC guys?
LSU.
All right. I mean, LSU has losses coming, but they've got to lose them. And if that quarterback gets healthy, who the hell knows? So, Matt, is that fair to put LSU there or no?
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
I would put Oklahoma there, too, just because of their schedule. But if they win this weekend, they jump up a tier for sure.
All right. We'll revisit this. So you got Missouri, Tennessee, and LSU, along with Oklahoma, out of the Southeastern Conference in tier 3. The tier 2 teams that are sitting pretty to get into the playoffs are A&M, Bama, the winner of Georgia, Ole Miss.
And the loser goes in tier 3 of Georgia, Ole Miss, I'd say.
Yep. Yes, because Georgia will absorb their second loss, and Ole Miss is going to follow history. I mean, Ole Miss might fall all the way to Tier 4 before it's over. But their win against A&M is huge. Texas right now is a Tier 4 team from the Southeastern Conference, which means they need a lot of help if they're going to get in from here.
They're going to have to only lose one more game the rest of the way, which includes games against A&M, A&M, Georgia, Oklahoma. I mean, they could do it, but it's going to be tough with that offensive line and quarterback play.
Where are we putting Georgia Tech? Tier 4?
Right around here. 3 or 4. What do you guys think?
I think you have to get them at 4.
Yeah, I put them in 4. They could get there. What does Tech have to do, guys, to get in?
Because they have to win their league, I think.
They could be a
or
bid
beat Georgia. Or beat Georgia.
Yeah.
They could steal a bid from us now.
They have to win They have to beat either Georgia or Miami to get in.
Beat Georgia.
I think they win one of those two, they would get in, even if they lost the other, obviously.
Matt, you agree or disagree with that? A win over Georgia at the end of the year for Georgia Tech makes them a problem.
Yeah, that would significantly enhance their resume. Yeah, I'm not sure that team's good enough, and Hayes' team can stay healthy enough for them to not
win the rest.
To not have an upset somewhere though. They could still win, upset Georgia and lose another game,
like Duke or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but they must win them. They must win them all from here. All right, so we got them out of the way.
They need to be undefeated going into Georgia and then win and then beat either Georgia or Miami. Is what
they would only play Miami in the championship game of the ACC.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
All right, what are we going to do with Arizona State?
I think they're kind of with a bunch of these teams. They have to win the league. Yeah, they're not getting in as an at-large with the loss of Mississippi State.
They're Tier 4.
Tier 4, maybe Tier 5.
I would put the winner of Michigan USC goes in Tier 4. I'd say.
All right, loser of Michigan USC. So winner. Michigan USC winner
is going to only have one loss with a pretty good win and some opportunities left.
Yep.
And probably either one of those teams would get in at 10-2 out of the Big Ten, because we talked about the committee's going to be looking for that fourth team from the Big Ten, I think.
So our grade for the Vols right now is they're in pretty good shape. We have them in Tier 3, but you could toggle them down to Tier 4 if the conditions get right. Utah.
Same as Arizona State.
So we're going to put them where? Tier 5. They're going to be in Tier 5, right? They got to win them all.
All the Big 12 teams besides Texas Tech have to win the league.
Yeah. Even Cincinnati, because Cincinnati lost that game to Nebraska. If they had won that, they could possibly be a spoiler, because they're playing really well, but that loss to Nebraska is going to knock them to where they're going to have to win the league too.
What about BYU?
They're still undefeated, but
what are we going to do with them?
They've literally had a preseason scheduled tonight.
They have, yeah. They have Utah next week, I think, and then they play at Iowa State, who's kind of a fraud. If they won at Texas Tech, November 8th, I guess that's a game that we need to include in this. The winner of that game, BYU, I guess, could jump into where Texas Tech is if they somehow won at Texas Tech, right? Would we agree with that?
Yeah.
So BYU, I'm going to put them in Tier 4
They have
for
a
now.
very hard schedule. Very hard.
Tough schedule.
They have at Iowa State, at Texas Tech, TCU at home, at Cincinnati is a 4-game stretch.
And BYU's always good for one or two, upset losses every year.
They're not going to go undefeated, but if they do, they're in. Just like Texas Tech. They're just not as good as Texas Tech, and they have a much harder schedule.
And the thing about the Big 12 teams to keep in mind, if you're looking at that being a 2-bid league, is those teams all have to cancel each other, play each other, because the league's so small, unlike our league. And so you're going to get some cross-contamination as they get on the field with each other. But we'll review this here momentarily. Okay, now we're down to
Most likely the Big 12 is one bid is the bottom line, unless BYU or Texas Tech go undefeated.
But they both can't go undefeated, right?
No, that's right. BYU plays at Texas Tech in early November.
Yeah. USC, guys, what do we do with the mystery team that is USC? I'm putting them in Tier 5. That's okay with you.
Yeah, the winner, if they beat Michigan this weekend, they would jump up, because they still have they still play Notre Dame and Oregon. I think if they beat Michigan and split Notre Dame and Oregon, they would probably be in. That would be my thinking.
TCU.
Same as
Tier 5.
Arizona State.
Auburn. Matt, where are we putting Auburn? They got to win out?
Probably, right? I guess maybe one more loss. What are they? They've lost to A&M and Oklahoma. Is that right?
Yeah.
Nah, they're not even on my radar.
Yeah,
no, they got to win
losses
out.
on the road. Yeah, they have to win out. They were like Penn State.
They got to win the league.
Yeah, got to run the table from
They're
here.
not doing that.
Yeah. If they beat Georgia this weekend, they would jump into the alive but barely breathing.
LSU probably belongs in Tier 4, right? Because they've only lost a game at this point. Is that right?
No, Tier 3 with Tennessee, I would say.
Tier 3.
With Missouri
But
and
they're
Tennessee
going to
and
lose.
Oklahoma.
Like Matt said, they're going to lose. But let's just put them. That's right. Yeah, we have them in. Okay, that's right. Okay,
So,
here's the tiers. Here's what we have. You guys tell me what's right, what's wrong. And again, we would be doing this on the phone right now. We're doing it on here because I want you guys and gals to get kind of a look-see at how we do what we do when we're putting the blog together or a video together or whatever it is. And it's kind of a
We're
fun
like
thing.
the ACC replays. We're doing transparency.
Yeah, we're doing transparency here. And by the way, it's a fun thing to kind of hash out because then it gives us a guide on really kind of puts it in crystal vision who you need to win, who you need to lose as we go forward. And the idea is kind of to give us a little viewer guide or maybe some guidelines on who we're for, who we're against going forward. Tier 1, Ohio State. These teams are in barring a miracle. Ohio State, Mark and Colombo just got a chubby. Oregon or Miami. Miami probably needs to win out to stay in Tier 1. Tier 2.
No. Not Miami. Miami already has wins over Florida, USF, and Notre Dame. I think they could absorb 2 losses probably, right?
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, and still win win the league. Yeah.
Win the league. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Tier 2.
Miami's going to be number 1 when the first rankings come out because of their resume.
Yeah, they're pretty scary. Tier 2.
And at Florida State, yeah, they have a win at Florida State, which is a big. If it comes down to them and like Bama, that they would have that over them too.
What kind of a record's Florida State bring in? Oh, they've lost 2 games already. They gave that Alabama game right back, didn't they, guys?
Yeah, they're off my radar.
They're not even. They're out. Tier 2. The only thing that throws a monkey wrench into any of this is if a Florida State at the end of the year gets hot and wins the ACC, and then we're going to have a mess. Obviously, though, that kind of goes without saying. We're just projecting that 28 teams right now are alive for this thing. There's always a possibility that a team, like I'm sure if we were to rank, Florida State's name was going to come up sooner, like within the next 2 or 3 teams. I mean, they beat Alabama.
Yeah.
It's always a possibility that they could go and win the league, but still, let's go to Tier 2.
If they won the league, that would mean every other team besides Miami would have at least 2 conference losses.
Yeah,
which would eliminate everybody else.
That's right. But it would make it a 2-bid league. I mean, I guess my point is. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Moving along, Tier 2. A&M out of this league. This means unless you screw it up, you're going to get in. You're tracking to get in here. A&M coming into this weekend, even though their history says that they won't do this, they're going to find a way to take their last 6 games and lose 3 football games. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they certainly have a difficult schedule, so anything's possible. A&M, Alabama, and then the winner of the Georgia-Ole Miss game. Then we have Texas Tech in Tier 2 as well, with the caveat that the Big 12 feels like a 1-bid league. So now all of a sudden, if we just do our math here, okay, and this is where the rubber meets the road on this thing. You take the 3 guaranteed teams, you take the group of 5. That's 4 teams that are accounted for in your 12-team playoff. You take the Tier 2 teams, and you've got A&M, Bama, Georgia, or Ole Miss. That's 3 more spots, plus Texas Tech, which is the Big 12's winner. Now you're with 8. Now you got 8. because I've counted the group of 5 as well. Now you've got 4 spots left, Living Vol fan. This is going to be really interesting to watch us now. You've got 4 spots left. Notre Dame is going to get one of those 4 spots left, but they've got to win the rest of their games. And we put them in Tier 3 with us because they are a 7-point favorite or better the rest of the season. Matt, does that jibe with you, Matt?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 9. Now we're at 9.
Indiana's 10, right?
Indiana, if they don't shit the bed from here, Indiana's got to get home at 10-2. They've got a game of opportunity with Oregon this week. Indiana could jump into, these guys tell me, and I'm going to respect this, they think these guys could jump into Tier 1 with a win this week with Oregon. A rather loud miracle, which, hey, anything's possible. Who the hell knows? Indiana's capable of scoring points. Can they function against Oregon? I have no idea. We'll see. Then we have, so right now we've got 9 spots spoken for if you think that Notre Dame's not going to lose a game. But we have 8 spots spoken for. I'm just going to make a note here. 8 spots. So the 4 playoff teams are going to come from Notre Dame, the 4 left, Indiana, Missouri, Tennessee, LSU, Oklahoma, Georgia Tech, Michigan, USC winner, BYU or Texas. There you go.
You know, you can look at it like this. The ACC
I think that's right.
12 is probably going to get
Did you include Oklahoma?
I've got Oklahoma. Yes.
ACC and Big 12 probably will combine for 3 spots, and then you have a group of 5, so that's 8 spots maybe to go around for the SEC and Big 10. So you're looking at 5-3 one way or 4-4.
If the ACC and Big 12 get 3, that would take it down to only 1 spot for those teams, right?
Bri,
or 3 spots for those teams, right, Tony?
Yeah, Bri, we're going on the assumption that that's not going to happen here.
We really need there not to be a bid stealer in either of those 2 leagues.
That's right.
Okay.
And Matt, that's
so you're
the
looking
thing.
at just one big league for each.
Notre Dame in that too.
Yes. So you got 8. I'm not counting Notre Dame. Okay. It is 8 spots. The 8 are, once again, if you're scoring at home, are Ohio State, Oregon, and Miami. They're in. You just look at this through 6 weeks. Unless they absolutely collapse, they're getting in. And then you go Tier 2. These teams are probably going to get in. A&M, Bama, unless they just collapse here. And look, tomorrow's game with Missouri could jump Missouri right in the middle of Tier 2. Because, Matt, if Missouri wins that game tomorrow, it's kind of like us in Georgia. Matt, if we'd have won the Georgia game, we would be putting us in Tier 2 right now. And rightfully so.
Yeah, and you could argue Tier 1 even.
Yeah, and you could even argue you're locked in.
I mean, you'd be Tier 2, but yeah.
Yeah. So I would be comfortable.
Go ahead. You finish your point.
You go ahead. You go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say we keep talking all these teams and tiering them. I'm not sure we've really mentioned a team that doesn't still truly control its own destiny because of the schedules left. Like these teams are going to beat each other, and it's going to work itself out. Like I think every team we've mentioned, in theory, controls their own destiny.
Outside of those Big 12 teams that have to win the league,
yeah.
Like even Penn State controls its own destiny.
Yes.
Win at Ohio State.
Of course, they're not going to do that. But to your point, that's a great.
In theory, they at least control it.
It's well put, Matt, and that's why anybody mentioned today these 28 teams can all make the playoffs from here. That's why this is a great format, and I love the 12-team playoff for that reason. Because if you opened it up to 16, Lynn, there's no telling. You might be going to 40 teams that are alive. Yeah, that would open
Washington.
up to 40, probably 40 football teams. So this thing is really, really, really interesting. Fleet Pete says you can't tier with championship games to play, but this exercise is cute, though. No, this exercise is not. It's more than cute. This exercise is actually pretty worthwhile because Ohio State, Oregon, and Miami are getting in barring a miracle. And when you start doing the math here, and then A&M Bama, the winner of Georgia or Ole Miss is going to make the playoffs from here. They just are. So now you're down to 6 spots. Texas Tech or one team from the Big 12. Now you got 8 spots that are spoken for because you got to add the group of 5. So that's 7 plus 1. Now you got 4 spots left, and you still have to account for Notre Dame. So everybody, no matter who your favorite team is, you got to cheer against Notre Dame from here. Here's the problem. Notre Dame is very good offensively. They're sort of suspect defensively. They're very good offensively, and they're at least a 7-point favorite against everybody the rest of the year. Now, could they slip? Sure. But if they don't, all of a sudden, there are 3 spots to be doled out between the likes of Indiana, who you hope crashes down. But, guys, we look at Indiana's schedule. It doesn't look like Indiana is going to lose 3 football games from here, does it, Matt? I'm not sure Indiana's going to lose to Penn State. I'm not sure that head coach, the quarterback they have, the offense they're playing with right now, I'm not sure they're going to go to Happy Valley. And why would they? They're better than Penn State. They look to me like they are. It looks to me like Penn State might check out, guys. I'm just looking at this. I'm going, okay, well, Indiana. Missouri, we really need Missouri to crash down. Matt, look at Missouri's schedule for me. Could they crash out of this thing? Is that an expectation from here?
Yeah, they could. They could pretty easily, I think.
Because they have Alabama tomorrow. Who else is left?
Then they play at Auburn and at Vandy.
Okay.
Which, Vandy will
one of those. They'll probably lose one of those too.
Vandy will be really tough, and Auburn could be sneaky tough depending on this weekend.
Yes.
Auburn's very good defensively.
Yeah. They play A&M with both teams off a bye.
Wow.
And then they end at Oklahoma, at Arkansas, which is kind of a tricky rivalry type game.
Tennessee has a much easier road than them, don't they? Yes.
They've been given supposedly an easy schedule, but we talk about how balanced the SEC is. That's the difference. Like Missouri and Indiana, we compared them, saying if either of those can get out of it. But their easy games are a lot tougher. Their quote-unquote easy games are a lot tougher than Indiana's.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And that's the difference between playing in these 2 leagues. But they're both in the same tier for now. Tennessee's in that tier. Matt, to get home from here, the Vols with LSU and Oklahoma, I mean, here's a question I have. When you look at these teams and you start putting them on paper, what happens if – now we know Texas has to get home at 10-2 to jump back into Tier 3, even to be really considered. But they're still alive. Georgia Tech's got to beat Georgia or Miami. They're a Tier 4 team. These are teams that have to do – they just got to win them, and they're going to need help. Michigan, USC winners are going to have to keep winning, and they're going to need help. BYU is going to have to keep winning, and they're going to need help, but they've got to play Texas Tech yet. And then the Tier 5 teams need help. I mean, really need help. So Tennessee is in a stew with Notre Dame. If we accept this, they're in a stew right now with Notre Dame. They're in a stew with Indiana. They're in a stew with Missouri. They're in a stew with LSU. They're in a stew with Oklahoma. They're in a stew with Texas. They're in the stew with Georgia Tech, Michigan or USC, and BYU. Matt, do you buy that? And is there anything else you'd add to that?
No, I think it's all fair. Again, I think all the teams you mentioned, like they don't actually need outside help because if they just win the games that are in front of them, they make the playoffs. So there's a lot of those teams that play each other, obviously, and they'll basically be a lot of playoff elimination games over the next month and a half, even though they won't, be marketed as such, especially these next few weeks.
But that's why it's great to look at this because now in our minds we know, hey, like for instance, When USC and Michigan get on the field, it's an elimination game of sorts. When Georgia and Ole Miss get on the field, it's not an elimination game for playoff, making the playoff, but one of them greatly enhances their possibilities of getting there. The Indiana, if you didn't do this, you wouldn't look at the Indiana game in the same way we're looking at it that they're going to play this weekend. They are absolutely sitting pretty. That's a game of opportunity for them, kind of like our game with Georgia. And I'm not sure, does Tennessee have another game of opportunity on the schedule, Matt? Yes, they do. It's Alabama. Tennessee's next game of opportunity, you can completely change the way your season is seen if you can go down there and win that game. That's why it would have been so nice to get the Georgia game. Go ahead.
The next two, Alabama, Oklahoma, are sort of the two opportunity games that are left for Tennessee. They can win them both.
No, I don't think
really in good shape.
I don't think Oklahoma is a game of opportunity for the Vols, Brian. I'm gonna disagree with that. I think Alabama.
They have to win that game.
Yeah, that's an opportunity. You don't win that game, you will not even sniff the playoffs unless you beat Alabama. Now, if you beat Alabama, you can absorb a loss there. Matt, do you agree with that? That Oklahoma's not a game of opportunity; it's just a game you got to win. They're in your building, and you got to win that game.
No, I think it's a playoff elimination game at the time it'll be.
Yes. I think that's a fair way of looking at that game.
Again, if Tennessee goes 10-2, regardless of how you get there, you're in the playoffs. If you go 9-3, you're almost certainly not.
Yep.
Here's I was going to ask this. Looking at this, here would be an interesting. Who do you guys think would get the nod? Okay, say Texas beats Oklahoma this week on a neutral. They beat A&M at home to end the season. They lose at Georgia. They're 9-3. Tennessee goes 10-2 with a loss at Alabama, but beats Oklahoma and at Florida. What do you got? How do you think the committee would stack those two up with Tennessee, with the Ohio State game in play instead of Syracuse?
Matt,
an A&M win. Say A&M is in the playoff.
That was my point earlier in the week.
The first two teams again. I didn't hear.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so say Tennessee goes 10-2 with the loss being at Alabama, which is when they would have, obviously that would mean a win at Florida. But Texas beats Oklahoma this week, beats A&M to end the season, but loses at Georgia, and so they'd be 9-3 with a win over A&M, win over Oklahoma, like Tennessee. The differences between the resumes would be Texas would have the win over a playoff team with A&M, and Tennessee would not have any really marquee wins. But Tennessee would have an extra win, but they would have played Syracuse instead of at Ohio State. Who do you think would be ahead? Who do you think the committee would give the nod to?
Let me ask you guys this before you do that, Matt.
That's a good. I have to think about it.
Because this is what it's going to come down to. What will these alleged computers that we're going to use see? Who would they value more at that point? Again, this is another discussion point.
The models love Texas.
So they would value Texas more. That's the other reason I kind of bring that up, because the committee can say, it would be very easy, I think, for the committee to say, because Texas has a very easy schedule, really, besides those three games.
Yes.
Kind of like Tennessee. They have a lot of common opponents.
Yes.
And the committee could say, oh, they just beat A&M, who's in the playoff. They're playing their best. They figured it out. They have all this talent.
Yes.
The models love them. We're not going to punish them for playing at Ohio State. I think that could come down, if it comes down to that 12th team, probably 10-2 gets you in, but that would be one thing that would be a little bit scary, I think, if it comes down to one spot for those two teams.
Look,
I don't know where they would go with that.
What I think is going to be really interesting, guys.
I was thinking.
Go ahead. It's good. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Matt.
Just along the same lines, it wasn't Texas was the 9-3, but a 9-3 Oklahoma team, if at least one of their losses are with Mateer out, I think they might kind of view that as like an NFL tie, where it's like a half, like they'd only have like 2.5 losses instead of 3. So that then that kind of is the same thinking you have with Texas and the resume stuff. Although Oklahoma's the resume wouldn't be like, the metrics wouldn't be as good. So
the only thing that I think would help with Oklahoma is if you beat them head to head, even though it's at home.
You know,
you don't have that to fall back on with Texas, which is a little scary.
Here's another thing could happen, because that's how this league is. Tennessee goes to Alabama, wins, okay, but gets kind of beat up in the process. It's a Tennessee-Alabama game. They turn right back around and lose to that Oklahoma team. Oklahoma ends the year with a 9-3 record, and you're 10-2. What then? See,
I think they'd give it to. Oh, that's a good one too.
See, this thing is going to get really sticky at the end. And people have said, Matt, and you've been one of them, but when you really do this, because it's no reason why I want to do this, because when you start looking at it, then you start saying, well, I can't proclaim that a 10-2 team is going to get in from this league because these teams are all. Now, Matt says it's going to work out, which maybe it does. I'm saying not so fast. I'm looking at this and I'm going, man, there are a lot of combinations. We could turn around, beat Alabama, be on the postgame show, celebrating, going crazy. Hey, we're in. In this league, you could turn right around and give it back. I mean, it's just a crazy thing about it, guys. It's nuts. I mean, the league's almost too hard, guys, at this point. It's too balanced and too hard, you know?
Other teams like Florida State, they gave their win over Alabama back.
That's exactly right.
And they're not playing an SEC schedule.
Yeah, but in that league, you got to lose twice to do it, which they've done. So congratulations.
I think
to them.
a win over Alabama is almost like a win and a half at Alabama. Like, I think it would bring 9-3, making it into the picture. Like Matt was saying.
Yeah, it would be one of the.
That's why
3 win of the season.
They got in last year. It was them around. The Tennessee Alabama game turned out to be an elimination game
for them in Alabama. You're right, Brian.
Yeah,
you're right.
It really was because the winner would have made it. Alabama would have made it if they win.
I think, guys, when I look at this thing and I look at the 8 spots that we've already allocated, and we're including one from the Big 12, we're including A&M. Bama and Georgia or Ole Miss at this point. And I think Georgia's going to lose some games, so who knows? But let's say Georgia loses to Auburn.
Jackson Arnold's going to beat them this weekend.
I know, and if that happens, what happens? See, that's a real monkey wrench game.
Yeah, well, that's the thing I'm banking on.
Yeah.
And we've talked about it, how they kind of that like middle third of the SEC and even all the way down to like 14 and 15 are competitive teams. I think that you get a few upsets along the way down the stretch, whether it's, Auburn against Georgia, South Carolina against Bama. So like just there's a number of them that can happen where that there's only going to be maybe 3 or 4 that are at that 10-2 mark. And it kind of works out that way.
And Vandy can play super spoiler here, guys, if you look at their schedule. That pain in the ass.
Or play their way into the field.
Or play their way in.
They're going to have a say in
what if they come to Neyland that last weekend with it being kind of a playoff elimination game?
What would have to happen? Now, that's a good question, right? What would Vanderbilt's number need to be, for them to be
8-3 going at worst going into it?
8-3 going in.
But maybe
they have a very hard schedule.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I'm a Tennessee fan. If they went 9-3 against their schedule and beat us, they're going in ahead of us.
Yeah, I mean, listen to this. They play LSU at home, Missouri at home, at Texas, Auburn at home, Kentucky at home, at Tennessee. Yeah, 9-3, they're in easily.
I mean, easily.
If they beat Tennessee.
And who knows? Maybe they're the South Carolina of last year. Who knows? I have no idea. And that's another good question, guys. Who is the South Carolina of last year from here in this league, Matt? Who's the team that we're kind of like looking past and, we kind of are semi-burying, and they're the team nobody's going to want to play at the end of the year. Who is it?
In a way, LSU could be that team.
LSU could be that.
Yeah.
They don't profile that way, but Texas kind of fits that.
Yes.
And the one that is – I don't think it's going to happen. I think that ends this weekend. But in theory, Florida could run the table and be in the playoff discussion, and Atlanta, I guess, even.
Well, you know what's funny about that? You think about Florida,
but that's not
right?
going to happen because Sunbelt Billy won't let that happen.
No, he won't. But if Texas were to beat Florida or if Florida were to beat A&M this weekend, we would have to pull A&M out of Tier 2 at that point. And put them down in Tier 3 because they'd have work to do.
Yeah, because they still have I mean, their schedule's not super tough, and they have the win. They do have a huge win already banked, which a lot of these teams don't have.
Yep.
With the win at Notre Dame, that's going to be probably a top 5 win anybody has. But yeah, if they lose to Florida, they would still have a game at LSU, at Missouri, and then at Texas. So they could theoretically go. I guess, go 8-4 if they lost this weekend.
And that would be, and the thing about a loss for them this weekend, Matt, which would be really on brand for Florida to do that, and really on brand for them to do that. There's a lot of on brand stuff that could happen here down the stretch, and it would be on brand for Texas to get hot, Matt, and figure out a way to get there. But I don't think they will. I don't think they will.
Not with that offensive line.
No way.
I just think that's just a very poorly coached team all around.
Yes.
They must have something going on internally there.
Watson said yesterday.
Advantage Texas has is just they're kind of like Tennessee. They have a very, very manageable schedule that it's gonna be hard for them to lose. I think. I mean, they have 3 real games left. I know Vandy could beat them, and Mississippi State's not tight. They have almost the same schedule like last year as Tennessee does.
Yes.
So that it's kind of similar to Tennessee in that you don't have to play that middle of the league really. If for either Texas or Tennessee, you don't have to play those Auburn, Missouri, South Carolina, those type teams at all.
Wrap this up from a Tennessee perspective. We're cheering for. I want to see Ohio State, Oregon, and Miami win them all rest of the way. Just solidify yourselves, get out of the way. You're in the playoffs. I don't care. You win them all. I'm talking about win every game from here. Lock up the top 4, a top 4 seed. I don't give a damn. You go for it. Then, as a Tennessee fan, I want to see Texas Tech win them all. That's good. That's good for us. And go to your conference championship game and win your conference championship game. Do we all agree on that?
I think we want Texas Tech to lose to Arizona State.
Yes.
That would be the easiest thing.
Teams, you want the ACC and the Big 12 to be one bid league.
Win them all. Win them all. From a Tennessee perspective, I want when Miami takes a field, just keep winning. And Texas Tech takes a field, just keep winning. Don't muddy the water in those leagues. Or
lose a couple games.
Cheer for Arizona State to beat them and lose a couple games. But it's cleaner.
You need those to be one bid leagues.
That's right. So it's cleaner if they win them. It's cleaner if you just go ahead and win them. It's cleaner. Just
okay. From my perspective, it's cleaner to say you want them to be one bid leagues.
There you go. One bid leagues. Okay, so 8 spots from there. Now we got 8 spots to play with. You need Notre Dame to lose. Notre Dame could be a real pain in the ass here from a Tennessee perspective. Their schedule is so damn easy. It's going to gall us if
USC
they go
is the only
in.
Game they could lose.
If they go in at 10-2 and we're 10-2 and have to sit at home, that could happen. Because I'm of the perspective that this thing is a television show. I mean, as much as I hate to say it, this thing's made for TV. Matt, C, Bry, anybody want to argue with
over
me?
9-3 A&M.
Do what now?
A 10-2 Notre Dame versus a 9-3 A&M, who has a head-to-head win in South Bend.
That's exactly right.
I think they would take A&M.
Schedule. I would think so too, because they're at least a big enough brand for TV purposes.
I agree with
that.
that.
It's hard to discount the win being at Notre Dame.
That's right. Indiana's another team we need to root against from here. It's kind of like last year. You know, we thought early on when we were looking at the playoff chase until it came into view, hey, we need A&M. We were really pissed off about the love that Indiana was getting, and they were sort of an irritant. But you need Indiana to lose. Missouri, we don't need Missouri to get hot and get there. We don't. They're going to be a pain in the ass. Obviously, you need for Tennessee to get home at 10-2. 10-2 would be a workable number from here, but it's not a guarantee. But it's a solid number. Obviously, we want to win the rest of them, but I mean realistically, that's not going to happen because it's not going to happen for any of these teams. LSU right now, guys, what would they do with a 10-2 LSU team? Are they automatically, would they jump us? Do you guys think? What happens with a 10-2 LSU team? See?
I think they're already ahead of us. I think Yeah, they have a much harder schedule than Tennessee. So yeah, I think if they go, I mean, they still have South Carolina at Vandy, A&M at Alabama, and at Oklahoma left.
Which
so
is
yeah,
our
10-2,
schedule.
they're getting in.
The only difference is we play Oklahoma here, we play Oklahoma there, or they play them there, we play them here.
They play A&M. They also play A&M as well. Who I think is kind of the A&M thing is interesting because we really need. I think we might just need A&M to. That's a team I think we need to be cheering for because A&M I think could finish to knock out a bunch of these teams we're playing.
What do you think, Matt? Are you comfortable saying that?
With. If A&M could just go out and win 10 or 11, really 11 would be ideal. I don't think they're going to win them all, but if they could somehow win 11, they would knock out a bunch of our competition, I think.
What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah,
so
that's
cheer for A&M.
Yeah, because they're a lot more likely to do it than say in Oklahoma or LSU or any of these other, or maybe even Alabama.
I'm back to this again. If Tennessee goes to Alabama and wins, which could happen, very much could happen. Alabama's got kind of that weird running game. Tennessee's defensive line could create enough pressure. I mean, it could happen. And then you turn right back around and lose to Oklahoma, and you put Oklahoma right in a spot, man. And that is going to be a reality of so many teams. But we need Oklahoma to lose a couple games from here. We do not need Texas. We need Texas to lose and get off the stage. But we're not so sure that Texas at 9-3 is not still alive. Could a 9-3 Texas team C jump us? You guys were talking about that earlier in the hour. What did we arrive at?
I think they would, yeah, but I'm not. I think I don't know. What do you think, Matt?
They probably would. Well, I don't. The thing about it is, like, 9-3 almost feels impossible to me. With I think their season could crater and they could go like 7-5.
This weekend is huge for if they win this weekend, they have legitimate life. But obviously, if they lose, they're done.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Technically they could still go 9-3 if they lose this week. But if they lose this week, I think they're probably winning 6 or 7.
Yeah, they have to. Yeah, they have to beat Oklahoma. I don't think Mateer plays. I don't think there's any incentive to play him if you're Oklahoma.
But if they win this week, they are all they have to do really is not slip up and split Georgia and A&M, and they'd be 9-3.
You know what's weird about them playing him, guys? Because you guys are right. If they really gamed it out and thought it out, it would only be a half a loss without Mateer. But that, like Watson told me, he told me this off the air too. He said it would make sense for them to play him because the Red River game just means so freaking much to those people. It almost means more than a playoff spot, even.
Like the Iron Bowl or Michigan, Ohio State, that kind of thing.
Which, Matt, kind of, if he walks out there in a lot of ways, you've got to say that it almost instills your confidence in college football, that it's still college football, because it's crazy to throw him out there, right? It's crazy to throw him out there.
Yeah, I want to see that, but from this new era, the playoff era, I think it'd be idiotic to play.
Idiotic.
Because there's even a somewhat decent chance they win the game without him. And how bad Texas is offensively.
And then you just take your mulligan.
Yeah.
Texas slogs around with you and you lose the game.
The worst thing that could happen for them would be to play him and then lose.
Oh. Now you have no that is such an interesting point.
If Texas loses to an Oklahoma team without Mateer, that would probably eliminate them, right?
Yeah, Texas, if they lose without Mateer, they're done anyway.
Yeah,
or with or without Mateer, they're going to crater.
Yeah, they're done.
Because they're not going to beat both Georgia and A&M.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't think. I think like Matt said, they're probably, if they lose this week, they're headed for they're headed for Shreveport or whatever.
So guys, that's a fun conversation. Weekend's games are going to be really interesting, and then it's going to set up what's going to be just a wild, one way or another. I mean, I can't wait because the next 6 weeks are so energizing to think about, and it is just going to be such a fun ride from here. And I really appreciate everybody that's joined us today. To the calls we couldn't get to, I told you we were just going to do a playoff symposium, which is what we did. So I try to keep my promises. And maybe we'll revisit this in a few weeks and get some phone calls in as well and kind of mix it all up. But that's a pretty good head start on it. I'm going to cut this video up and release it and share it with you. But it's fun. It is fun. Any final thoughts? Let's go around the room. Matt, final thoughts on what we did, the exercise, and just your thoughts on where we are going forward.
No, it's a whole lot of fun to do. I still think, you're probably 2 or 3 weeks away from it being a lot more clear, and you can narrow down the scenarios a ton by that point. But it's fun to do. A lot of teams are still alive, which I guess is good for the sport in general.
Yeah.
I guess the big thing, and we talk about projecting all these teams. The key is Tennessee's got to continue to play well and continue to win games. And that's the case with all these teams. All these teams control their own destiny, I think. I really think literally every team we've mentioned controls their own destiny if they win the games in front of them.
All 28 can get in, Matt.
That's kind of the fun part about it.
Yeah, all 28. 28 are alive with half the season to play. That's not a bad deal. That is not a bad deal. And 12 teams creates tension. Because, again, C and Matt, you guys are bright guys. And Bri, you all are bright, a lot brighter than I am. Sight unseen. If we had a 16-team playoff, how many teams would still be in play with half the season left? What would the number be?
You could definitely push it over 30, 35.
I think it'd be over 40.
You'd add a bunch of those bit like Washington, Nebraska type teams because you'd know if you had 16, they'd be looking for more Big Ten teams.
And isn't that rancid, Matt? Think about that. 40-plus teams.
Florida State still be in it.
Yeah, Florida State. Jesus.
Florida would be legitimate. I think Florida.
Yeah, Florida would be.
8-4 Florida with their schedule could get in a 16th team, I think.
Somebody said from here we ought to do a tier Thursday where we just tier these teams. Just take a snapshot each week. If you guys are up for that, we could do that.
Tomorrow, Tony, at Calhoun's, it's going to be tier Friday of 1985.
And that'll be C's final thought. Brian, do you have anything you'd care to add to the discourse today? Because two of you clowns.
No, I'd say the last teams that played last night probably aren't in anybody's tier.
Two of you.
Going out on a limb there, Brian.
Brian was in our group text last night. Matty was feverishly texting about that game. And Matt said.
He was giving us Malachi Nelson's stats, who had got benched last week. He's actually their backup quarterback now.
Matt said keep the updates coming. Malachi Nelson from that Nico quarterback class with a family tree that didn't fork. No offense. Thank you to our panel. Thank you to our callers. And those didn't get through this hour. I apologize for that. Thank you to our thousands and thousands, if not millions, of listeners around the world. Thank you to our friends at VIP Play. Ladies and gentlemen, look, how fun is this? How crazy is it, man? This is crazy. It's crazy. It's going to be so much fun. Go claim your VIP Play welcome bonus. You bet $20 or more, you get $100 in bonus bets instantly. The promo code is TNTony. Remember, I've got a bonus bet this weekend. Matt's going to get mad at me, but part of my parlay is it's the first quarter in the Tennessee game over, both teams. It's the Tennessee team total for the game over, and I'm going out on a limb because we're going to juice this thing up because when we win, we're going to win. Georgia's going to get knocked out of Tier 2 by Auburn. Come nightfall Saturday night, we're all going to watch that. And the clock going to strike midnight on Kirby, and he's going to be sitting there with a slipper that doesn't fit this year. And he can get him some of that because Auburn's going to get them. It's going to be Ravano Freeze's last stand. Mark in Colombo is going to get excited about it. You'll read more about that parlay tomorrow if you want to get in on it. And that is over at VIP Play, where everybody gets treated like a VIP. Look, I'm going to do a little Philly parlay tonight. Flyers to win, money line. Phillies to lose, money line. And Eagles to cover the spread because Phillies won't win tonight. Why? because Chris Burke feels good about him. VIP, where every VIP player, everybody gets treated like a VIP. If you have a gambling problem, 800-889-9789, 21 and over, located in the state of Tennessee, to place a bet. Tomorrow we're live at Calhoun's. I'm working on the great Dale Jones. We'll have other sundry surprises for you. Love you. Appreciate you. And Double J 1977 said you need to have a traffic cop next round. Everybody tripping all over each other. Hey, man, go to hell. Okay? How do you like that, Double J? You gonna criticize that? I'm criticizing you. Nobody asked you, big boy. Keep your comments to yourself. Till we meet again for all... Hey, Laura's looking at me. Hey, listen, man. I did that as a way for you to hear how we put things together. And that's the appreciation we got. I sit on here for an hour tonight on a day where I could have said, hey, I'm doing winners and losers tonight, presented by Dos Equis, and all this other stuff. And then you come in here and say that. I mean, you can peace out, man. Next time, here's an idea for you. Why don't you click your thing off?